like, yeah, some of your areas is light. I'm like, what?
Some of your
He's
areas is
like, yeah, like so basically the corners right here, like they
oh,
start to
so
get
you
real
have what
light.
you okay? So you have one of those that the corners are going in,
Yeah, the
like
corners are
oh, you're gonna be
lightening up here.
that type of
Yeah.
baldy.
So
That's
the middle
ah,
part be fine, the
but the
sides be
corner,
fine,
yeah,
the
yeah.
back be fine, but
That's how it be
the
going.
corners right here.
That's how it be going.
I
So
was like, yo. And I'm not surprised like that is happening. It's just
it's in
crazy
your
to go
fam.
from somebody. Oh, it's big in my family. Like my brother's bald. I got two other brothers that's like, they kind of losing it. And then my pops was bald. And low key, like even my mom didn't have like the best hair either. So it was
Yeah.
like the cards are stacked up against me. So
Yes,
but I
for real.
thought,
Low key, me too. But what I'm holding out hope, and I have a little bit of hope.
yeah,
It's happening really late for me. By this
right.
time, early 30s, my brother's hair was mad light at the top. You know what I mean? Mad light.
Yeah,
I still got a little bit. You know what I mean? I still got hair, and they be losing it. They be losing it like right here. You know what I mean?
right.
So I don't know, man. Did it skip
You
me?
doing the best thing. You doing the
Possibly.
best thing though by not cutting your hair as often. Like, cause they say like putting the heat to your hair kills like the
Yeah.
follicles and shit
You
like that. So
yeah. And low key, I think what I did too is I started look, growing up, I was taught, we gotta shampoo your hair every day. That's how I kind of grew up in the household like that, right? African
right.
parents, they don't really know the best hair care routine. But obviously
Mm-hmm.
getting older and learning some things, being around and learning some things, I learned that even as black people, we ain't even supposed to be doing that. Sorry, we ain't even supposed to be washing our hair
Hell
like that.
no.
We're not supposed
That
to be
I think
shampooing our
that
hair and doing that. So it came to a point that I don't want I stopped washing my hair. I started like doing more braid styles and stuff like that, which I feel
mm-hmm.
like it's helped my hair growth.
Yeah, that's
Um,
like protecting hairstyles, the braids and shit like that.
yeah,
But yeah, my
exactly.
brother, he was fucking washing the one that's actually bald now. He said
hmm
that he thinks it's sped up because he was washing his hair every day with Head and Shoulders. He
That's
was
that's
doing that
literally
shit
the
every
African
day.
That's the African household
Yeah.
staple. Head and
Yeah.
shoulders and
Yeah.
Irish Springs, bro. That's the
Fam.
African household staple.
Man,
I don't know about how y'all,
that's
but
for the
that's how
white
we live
folks.
like.
That shit ain't for us, man. Like we're not supposed to be washing our hair with Head and Shoulders every day, and shit like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
I think he said somebody said like his hair stunk one day, so he was like he was gonna wash his hair every day because he didn't want to go through that no more.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man, my
Exactly. We're not
shit.
supposed to be doing that with our hair.
Niggas is in the
Damn.
comments like, yo,
Jimmy's gonna wear that do-rag forever, dog. He ain't gonna never see this man's head top, yo.
nah, I'm gonna try a few things. Some people have been recommending like some minoxidil and some type of oils and shit like that. I'm gonna try them, but
Oh
the
man,
friend.
you're gonna turn into one of those, man. Yo,
Nah.
bro,
Well,
let me
hey,
tell you this.
if I document it, I
Yo,
might be able to
yo,
change my whole YouTube channel
yo, that's what
around.
I'm saying. Yo, bro, I follow. I don't follow him, but I come across his content a lot. And maybe you came across his content. I don't know. I see his shit on TikTok sometimes. It's
Yeah.
gotta be like, day 145, trying to restore my
Yeah,
hairline,
yeah,
right? You
yeah,
see that
yeah,
guy, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
he gets
yeah.
like a derma roller, and he puts it all over his
Yup.
head. He be putting crazy shit like strawberry on his head and all
The
sorts of
strawberry
crazy.
mint oil, because he was a waver at first. So he's like, brush your hair 8 angles, every
Bro,
8 directions.
bro,
You know what I'm saying? Brush it
let me tell you
all the
something.
way around.
You might have to just give up. And it's crazy that I have to tell you that. You might have to just give up and lose hope because the
Yeah,
same dude, I came across his content, and
yeah.
the funny thing is said, day 50 of me getting my hair transplant.
Yeah. He went to Turkey. He went to
You
Turkey
went to
and got
Turkey.
it
You went to
done.
Turkey. Oh, so
He
you
went
you
to
familiar with this
Turkey.
creator I'm talking
Oh,
about
I
then?
know. It pops up all the time. Cause bro, ever since like I started losing my shit, like I started watching more hair content on so the
Try to
algorithm
restore it. Try to
been
restore
showing,
it.
yeah, like
Try to
I'm looking at
restore
like
it.
different hairstyles, different stuff I could do. And my algorithm put that dude right into my to my feed. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh man.
I come across his videos.
But I'm not
Yeah,
afraid
that's
to go
funny.
bald, like
Yeah.
especially since I got the beard now, like it actually connects and all of that. So I'm like, I'm not afraid
Yeah,
to go
you lucky
bald.
with that. Mine
Yeah.
still has trouble right here, Mine has a
Bro,
lot of trouble right here, man.
the biggest thing about it connecting is actually growing it out. So like even though it's going to look bad growing it out, because what happens is this part it starts to meet that part and it
Uh-huh.
eventually fill in. So you got to really like grow it out.
Low key,
you'll see
low
more.
key, my mustache, like I trimmed it even a little bit, but my mustache grows like this, but no hair. Like
Yeah,
I barely have any hair follicles, like right here. So my mustache would literally
right.
have to come and cover it.
It might, because like yeah, my mustache too, like the goatee part, it actually started growing that way. So this part stops at a certain time, and then this part will like come in and fill it in. So
Oh, that's
yeah, I'm
crazy.
like, all
That's
right, as
crazy.
long as I got that, I'm good.
Amen. Amen. Pray for J Main's hairline, bro. Pray.
Word, pray
Pray
for
for the
me,
hairline.
man.
It
I'm
goes
about to start
slow.
going heavy in the gym. You know what I mean? Get
Get
buff. You know
swole,
what I
baldy,
mean? Bald,
beard. That's
the
a
three
look.
B's:
That's a
bald, buff,
look.
beard.
Oh man, how's it going, people? Man, it's been a while. I know we alive. I know that's what some of y'all
We
are thinking. We
alive.
haven't done a podcast in a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. A lot of shit's been happening, man. A lot of shit's been going on.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So we would have loved to be here to and talk about some of the topics, but we just couldn't. But I hope everybody's blessed. We here now, and we're gonna give you guys a good podcast, man. I'm gonna go ahead and tweet this out. You know, at this point, people never know our schedule, so they just catch this shit later. We barely be on a proper schedule, but you know, me and Jay Mason, we're gonna work on it, and
absolutely.
we're gonna try and be
More Patreon content coming. Definitely want to get back on a regular schedule. Shit, even with my
yeah a
own
little
shit.
bit
So yeah,
exactly
we
exactly.
we gonna get better at it for sure.
Yeah, just a lot of shit going on. A lot of shit going on. I was just telling Jay, man, right now I got a lot of exciting shit going on in my life. At the same time, I got some bad shit going on too. So
Yeah,
life be a
crazy,
bitch, yo. You know what I
crazy
mean?
the way the world
Yeah,
works, the
man.
universe and all of that.
For real, man. For real, for real. All right. Good gaming episode 79. And Jay, man, we've been gone for 3 weeks. How's life treating you, bro? What you been playing?
Other than going bald, I've been doing all right. I played and beat the Plucky Squire. Actually, I think I seen you beat it and got the
Yeah, I
platinum
beat
as
that
well.
too. I beat that.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm gonna go for the platinum. It's not a hard platinum, but it's so much games to play. I'm just on to the next one. So I played and beat that. Really enjoyed that game. Of course, you have the whole 2D into the 3D aspect, and you have the picking and choosing the letters that you could change to recreate the scenery and stuff like that to solve puzzles and stuff like that. I really like that. So hopefully, with that team, that game does well enough so that they can either make a sequel or we could see what comes next from them. But overall, I thought it was a good game. I played it on PlayStation Plus, so I didn't pay
Me
anything
too.
extra for it.
Me too.
So I thought that was a good get for PlayStation Plus. And in
Um,
addition to that, oh, go ahead.
I just want to jump in real quick. It sounds like you enjoyed it a little bit more than me, to be honest. By the end of it, I was kind of underwhelmed, Jamie. Personally,
Really?
I was a
What?
little bit underwhelmed by the
Nah,
game
I would like to hear
overall.
that.
You know, I think it introduces some cool concepts and ideas with the
Mhm.
whole blending, like you said, of the 2D and the 3D worlds. I think that's a great idea on paper. I think it could have been executed a little bit better.
Mm.
In terms of the way the game plays and controls, and I felt it was a little bit lackluster there, like in the combat side of things. I felt
Yeah.
like it was a little bit more lackluster. I do like how they incorporated other games like Punch Out and like these little mini games and stuff like that. I thought that was
Mm-hmm.
cool. I wish they kind of dived a little bit deeper into that. I think that's a great idea that if this game ever gets a sequel, they should pay homage to other franchises like that, where they can blend it. It came to a point there was a mission that was kind of like Resogun too.
Oh
Those
yeah, yeah,
moments
yeah.
those
That was
moments
fire.
were really cool in my opinion. But overall, by the end of the game, I felt like I expected this to be a little bit better. Digital
Mm.
Devolver, the way that they
Yeah.
cut their trailers, and they're great at presenting their games, which this game is a solid game, but I I don't know, I felt like it was going to be a little bit more impactful to me personally. I felt like it would have held. Like, it's one of those games that I don't think I will have any sort of interest going back to play, and I like replaying games, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those games
Yeah.
that I played it once. I think I'll never go
You
back to
probably
check it
feel
out
like you
again.
got everything out of it that you
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you would
A
need.
lot of great ideas introduced though. Once
Mm-hmm.
again, like the whole switching out letters to change the book, the story and story. I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea. I wish there was a little
I
bit
also
more
thought
of
it
that
was
in the game too. I wish there was a
I
little
thought it
bit
was
more of
cool.
that.
Like the way like they did certain puzzles towards the end where like you have to like completely close the book in order to have
Exactly,
like
to move.
one item to go from one
You
page
could
to the next
pitch the
page
other
and shit
page.
like that.
Some really cool
Yeah.
stuff there. Yeah, really cool
Yeah, like
stuff
stuff like that happened more towards the end. So like, you know,
there. I would have
and
liked
if they
more.
would
I would
more
like
of that, yeah, throughout the
more.
game.
Yeah.
Less dialogue though, too. Like I think
It's,
that game had way too
yeah,
much
it's a lot of
dialogue
talking. A lot of talking.
for the type of story it is. Like you don't need that much dialogue. It's like it's not that serious. Like it got to the point by the end of the game, I was like, all right, like y'all just using
There's a
up
lot of
words.
talking
Like
in that game.
who's the writer of this game? Was it John Garvin? Like this motherfucker just running his mouth, like he can't stop talking. So,
Yeah.
but no, I thought it was good. You know, I liked it, and yeah, I would like to see them flesh out a lot of those other ideas more, and just make them more prominent in a sequel or something like that. So,
Yeah, yeah. A lot of great ideas introduced though, so I'm not mad at it. Solid game though. Solid.
yeah.
What else you been
In
playing?
addition to Plucky Squire, been slowly chipping away at Death Stranding. Of course, that's a game that like I'm just kind of like playing in the background. I pick it up, play for a few hours, and then but I ain't gonna lie, that PlayStation Portal been coming through for a day. Like I gotta keep coming back and singing its praises. It's the perfect
Look at
fucking
that.
device
Look at that.
for a game like Plucky Squire or especially Death Stranding, because it's not nothing that you need to be like, the
Yeah.
controls need to be 1-to-1.
J-Man
like
likes
that.
a pretty much a PlayStation extension.
Oh
handheld.
God.
Damn, J-Man.
I've
You had a
always
lot of
loved
slander.
PlayStation handhelds.
Nah, but you didn't like the idea of that. It pretty much plays your home console games on the go, bro. You didn't like that idea at first, but it seems like you're coming around. It seems like you're coming around.
It works for me. I don't think it's gonna work for the masses, but
Nah, at first you weren't saying that at first. You said you didn't even want that shit if it played just the PS5
No, I don't.
games.
I don't. I would rather them not.
But it seems
I
like
said
you're enjoying your Portal.
I would buy it. I would buy it, but I don't want them to make it. Like that's the type of way I am with it. Like I wouldn't want them to make it if I gotta like stream the new games and shit. Like I don't want that. But I would buy it. I wouldn't want them to make it, but I would buy it.
You made no sense there, right there. I don't want y'all to make it, but if y'all make it, I'm gonna cop it. So what sense you make
it's
it,
perfect sense. Like for a VR, like
No
another
sense.
VR. Like I wouldn't want them to waste their time with another VR, but I might buy it if they show an interest and they like you know what I mean? They putting their effort into it, but whatever. Whatever.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I said it before prior to the rumors. I always felt like I think PlayStation is going to be leaning into that direction, and now we're hearing rumors of the PS6 is might have a handheld, another SKU to it. So if it is that, then I think PlayStation. We've seen Yoshida post a lot of Steam Deck pictures over the years since it's been out. Man, I don't know with PlayStation games. I don't know. He might be feeling it.
Oh, they love them handhelds, so that's about to happen.
All right,
And
so
then
Death Stranding, what
lastly,
else?
I've been playing Sparking Zero.
Okay, game of the year.
that's the big one right there.
New
I've
hotness.
been playing. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I know I don't play fighting games. I didn't play like a Budokai game in a long time. I ain't gonna lie, this game kind of been whooping my ass a little bit to the point where I'm like, nigga, am I ass or is this game hard? Like, I know people was complaining about the Great Ape Vegeta. Like, I ended up beating him.
That was easy. Just do a
He
command,
wasn't
man.
too crazy.
All he does is spam freaking the beam out of his mouth. All you have to do is keep your distance and do a command man wave. I don't even know how it became. I don't even know how this even became a meme. You don't try and piece him up. All you have to do is just stay back and throw your ultimate and fucking.
That's what I
think.
think.
Bro. That's
people was having a. Niggas is so used to pressing square.
Yeah, they're running up and trying to piece
like
them
that.
up.
They was getting
working.
close, and he was grabbing their asses up and putting them down. But now I was trying to do so you know how they got like the branching paths where you can do the what if scenarios.
Yep.
The one shit with Raditz, like I'm trying to figure, you got to actually beat that nigga to get the what if scenario.
You have to beat Raditz in a quick
nigga,
time, in a fast time.
That time is like 45 fucking seconds. Like, what the fuck they want me to do with him?
J-Man, man. It sounds like you have to get good, brother. It sounds like you have to get good, brother.
No cap, I'm ass at the game. Like, I'm ass at the game. And the shit telling me, do you want to lower the difficulty? If you don't get the fuck out my face, asking me to lower the difficulty, I will snap this.
Funny thing,
I don't even got a disc, but I will snap this disc in half. Don't play with me.
But the funny thing about that game, talking about lower the difficulty, some of the branching paths, you have to beat it in the default mode, or it won't let you do the branching path to the what if scenario if you don't beat it on normal. So yeah.
Yeah, see. I gotta go last. I did the whole training segment, so I know like most of the
It's a lot of
controls and all of
mechanics,
that.
yo. A lot of mechanics, low key to memorize,
Thank
yo. It's a
you.
lot.
It's a lot of fucking mechanics. I'm like, yo, this shit is overwhelming a little bit. So I'm glad like this is like the only fighting game I would probably ever play. At this
Mhm.
time, and the stage of life that I'm at, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting better
This is
at
what you
it.
get. This is what you get for
Playing
not
with you
popping
guys
up in
and
the
all.
Discord. By now, if you were in the Discord, you would be pretty
Bro,
solid already by now, bro. You would have learned
I did,
fast.
yeah, I didn't get to the game until like earlier
Yeah.
this week, so I
Oh,
wouldn't
okay.
even like I wasn't even like on it like that. But now I'm on it,
Mm.
so yeah, I'm gonna pop up on y'all. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's a
feel like
link. I'm.
y'all bigging yourselves up a little bit too much. I'm gonna have to come up in there and
Ah!
humble niggas. I'm gonna have to come up in there and humble niggas.
Jamie's about to get
I mean,
pieced
I'm from
up.
the I'm from the Budokai Church. You know, it's one thing I noticed. Like, kind of miss the old school controller mini games. Like, it's more
Oh, the
like
loading
button
screens, right?
based. Not
What do you
even
mean?
the loading screens, like when the beams connect, like you have to do like the
Oh,
analog shit and
you have
all
to
of
do the
that.
circle. Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
It's a little bit
it's
different in this one.
it's more button prompts and stuff like that. But in addition, overall, I like the game. I see what people were talking about with the way the story is told and like the
I have no
slideshows and
issue
all of
with it.
that.
I have no issues with it because
I
it's a
mean,
blend. It's a blend of both. First of all, it's a blend of both.
it is a blend, but
It's
for
a
us,
blend of
we've
both.
seen this story 100,000 times over a hundred
Exactly.
thousand games.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
the way they're telling it, where you have like each character and it focuses on their
Just main
section
events
of the
too. Even
story,
yeah,
right?
it doesn't go through minute details in the campaign at all. It goes through just main events like the battle with Raditz, boom, and then it will jump straight to Vegeta. There's no filler. But
But I
listen,
feel like if you play with Piccolo though, right, you probably would have to you go through main events with him, or
it jumps all over the place because even when I started with Gohan, right, it didn't start at the Raditz saga again, right? It started at Cell on Story.
oh,
So it's
okay,
all over
okay.
the place. This game
Yeah.
is more is an emphasis on the PvP aspect. If you're looking for a Dragon Ball Z game, literally that focus heavily on the story, I got a game for you. It's called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Play that game,
Kakarot,
and
yeah.
that game is probably the best Dragon Ball Z game I've played when it comes to telling the story of Dragon Ball Z all the way from the Saiyan arc to the Buu arc. They tell it in great detail, and it's an action RPG, right? This game, I don't think most people when they played the Budokai Tenkaichi series, even across the years, right? It's never really been a heavy focus on the story like that. Like they used to just be narration. Like you see some narration, some text narration for some of the Budokai games, and a couple of pictures. Then you're in the fight. You're just going through the fight and the sagas. The whole point of this game is obviously it's playground experience of having a massive roster of all your favorite Dragon Ball Z characters, even the most obscure characters. They got freaking Frieza's henchmen in the game and just random stuff. You know, that's the appeal of this game. Like if you don't know, like that's what people want from this game. We want a massive roster where we can do the craziest matchups. We want to be able to pick Cybermen versus SS4 Gogeta. Like we want to do goofy shit like that. We want to pick Yajirobe with facing like Super Buu or something like that. See,
fucking Yamcha versus Jiren and shit.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what people want to do. You know what I mean? And I just want to put it out there. I just want to put it out there. I don't know if he's listening, but you might hear this a little bit later. I pieced up Anubis with Bobbity. I just want to say that. I pieced him up with Bobbity, bro. And he was Raditz. I pieced him up with Bobbity, bro. And listen, it's a love and it's a love. I don't even call it a love or hate thing because I actually kind of love this aspect about the game, how the game isn't balanced at all, bro. The game ain't got no sort of balance to it. It's not balanced at all. And I kind of like that about this game because it's fun. Like this game was never supposed to be a super competitive. Yeah, it was never supposed to be a super competitive game like that. This is something that you would catch at esports, right? Budokai is not that. You know what I mean? It's a casual fighter. It's not like an Evo type of game, right? So, and just for what you were just about to say, it's funny because when you pick a bum tier character with less stats, less health, and you watch him, man, it's such a great feeling.
It's such a great game for the rest of the night. Like you can't even hop back on the game after that. Like, cut your system off in the back.
yeah, exactly. So the fact that it's even like that, I kind of like it, and it's kind of accurate to, the show and stuff like that. But I've been putting a lot of time into Sparking Zero. I've been playing on PC and PlayStation those are
I got a
probably.
question for you.
Go ahead.
With the real quick, you playing on both? Do you feel like the HDR is different on PC than it is on PlayStation, or is it just like naturally dark like that, and you gotta like
The
brighten it up?
HDR, I tried it on. I think on the PlayStation it should be automatic. For some reason, are you playing on PlayStation or PC? Which one?
I'm playing on PlayStation.
I
I'm playing
felt
on
like
PlayStation.
I felt like when I tried the HDR on PC, it was a little dark in my personal opinion. But on PlayStation, the experience seemed fine. I didn't really have too much issues with colors or anything like that on mine. And
Yeah, I was playing on PS5 and like I left it on the default HDR settings and it was dark, so
Did you have
I
to turn
wasn't
it up?
sure. Yeah, like I felt like turning it up definitely helped a lot. So I might have to play with the slider a little bit to get it to where I like it. But when I turned it off, it was okay. But when I turned it back, I'm like, damn, I just feel like it's dark because I'm used to seeing like certain colors with the costumes and shit like that. And when shit is dark, I'm like, it don't feel right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to. But yeah, you said you playing on both. Do you feel like the experience is different from PC to PS5?
It's pretty much identical. The game is
Well, you got
locked
the
at 60
mods
frames.
though.
Yeah. That's the big benefit on PC. The game is locked at 60 frames per second on PC. There's probably going to be a mod that unlocks the frame rate. I don't know how that's going to work when it's online, if that's going to kick you out or ban you, who knows. The game is naturally, like, they don't have ultra wide support, 16:9, but there is a mod out that lets you utilize ultra wide, and the game looks amazing on an ultra wide monitor.
Yeah, that's what that picture you had. I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
I actually picked up a new monitor. I finally got rid of my 3-4 year. I was probably 4-year-old by now. Ultra wide, and I upgraded to an OLED. I wasn't planning.
This your first
to.
OLED monitor?
This is my first OLED monitor. Yeah, I have an OLED. I have a 4K OLED TV. I have a C2, and I have another 4K, a 43-inch 4K. It's a Samsung. It's one of the fancier joints with 144 hertz. It's a QLED or whatever. I have one of those too.
The QD is it QD OLED or is
no,
just LED?
QLEDs. If I had the Zach code, I would tell you. But it's a gaming specific like TV. Like I remember I did mad research.
Okay.
For this TV, it has G-Sync and all that fancy shit with the Samsung that I have. But anyways, when it comes to the what were you asking?
No, I was asking your thoughts on the monitor, like the OLED monitor.
It's right away. I knew the picture quality was incredible because I didn't even play a single game yet, but just my wallpaper that I had before from my other from my other monitor when I hooked this one in, I'm like, yo, this wallpaper, the colors, right? And the blacks are so black. It's nice actually seeing it on a monitor like this. Like I've experienced OLED before, of course, on the TV, but on a monitor like this, it was really, really nice. I downsized it a little bit. My last ultra wide was a 38. This one's a 34. The reason why I didn't buy the 39 variant for this or the 45, which I was thinking about, is that the resolution is not higher. It's still 3440 by 1440. My last monitor that I had was 38. Is it 3840 or 3860 by 1600? So it's the resolution is a little bit higher. So yeah, the resolution's a little bit is less than my last monitor, but
the last one wasn't OLED.
Yeah, the last one wasn't OLED.
Okay.
Plus this one is smaller. So obviously it's less noticeable, the pixels. That's why I didn't go for the 45.
Density
Yeah, the pixel density, right? Exactly. If I went for the 45, then at least when it comes to like text and stuff like that, I'm gonna notice like more pixels. So I'm like, you know what? Let me downsize a little bit. I already got enough big screens in the crib and shit like that. So the 34, I'm already kind of used to it, and it's still big. A 34 is still pretty big too for a monitor. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it, man. This is day 2 of having it, and I've been enjoying it. It's a really nice.
You nervous about burning at all?
I was a little nervous about burning. I'm not gonna lie. I got a wallpaper that transitions every so often, but I'm somebody who typically turns off their computer every night. I don't really leave things running, so I don't think I will have an issue. But one thing I did do is I put my Windows taskbar to minimize because I was a little shook. Yeah. I was a little.
You don't want no
shook
static images.
I don't want too much static. Exactly. I don't want too much static images to jack it up or anything. So I put that shit on minimize, and my wallpaper changes every so often. So I think I'm gonna be cool.
Do you have icon? I was gonna say, do you have icons on your desktop?
I deleted all my shortcuts. I'm not gonna lie. I deleted all my shortcuts. But I don't know why I'm even worried about this. Like, I'm somebody who like changes a monitor or a thing like every 3-4 years tops. You know what I mean? So
Right.
before it even gets bad like that, I probably would have another monitor anyways. Right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, back to Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Back
you
to
playing
Dragon Ball,
that?
man.
'Cause that's all.
Yeah, I've
that's
been
all
playing it
been
on
playing.
PC and console. I've been rotating. I have about like maybe 55 hours between both of them in the game, and man, I'm having a blast. The game is easily one of my favorite games of the year. I might be capping a little bit calling it game of the year. That's just pure hype in the title, but it's definitely one of my favorite games I've
played.
played.
Your game of the year is whatever the fuck you say it is. It's whatever the fuck you say it is.
I still think Persona 3 Reloaded is my favorite game I played all year long, but it's a second. This was 100% second for me. Okay. Reloaded was really, really good. So,
any issues you have with Spark Zero, being that you have like all of these hours in it? What issues? Like a 10 out of 10. You struggling right now? Hold on. Perfect game right here.
Let me think. You know, the funny thing is, one of my main concerns or my main complaints when they were, showing off the game was how the character selection screen was. But I've actually experienced in the game in person, even though I think the icon shit could have been sorted out a little bit better. It's actually really not as bad as I thought it was going to be, man. It's really not as bad.
It just doesn't bother you, or is it like...
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like,
I thought it would
like it a little bit better.
I thought it would bother me more, but it actually doesn't really bother me as much. I do wish the character selection screen, like the icon of the characters, were in better like renders or something like that. But that's like a little nitpick that I have with the game. But outside of that, I'm actually struggling to really complain about it. I think the game is amazing. This is probably one of the best Dragon Ball games I've ever played.
What did they ever say anything about crossplay? Because that I swear to God, I thought this game was gonna have crossplay. Like, I was shocked as hell when I went to the Discord and I'm like, "Is this game have crossplay?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, "What? There's no crossplay on this shit?"
That's disappointing. That's one thing I could say that's 100% disappointing. I think for a game like this, it should have crossplay. Hopefully, they can implement it post launch at some point in time, because you already know the player pool is going to be crazy on PC, it's going to be crazy on PlayStation.
Oh man,
I know.
Come on, stall them out. Stall them out.
I don't know about the green boys over there. I don't know how to play a pool. Cause low-key, I've been seeing a couple of Xbox players complain about it's taking long to get to matches, and could it be a bug, or could it be that the player pool is just not the same? You know what I mean? And it's a fighting game, man. Like, I feel like fighting games across the board should have crossplay. Like,
absolutely.
I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, the community is already not like the biggest community in general. The fighting game community is kind of small in like across all fighters. If you look at the numbers and stuff, like, yeah, they sell pretty okay, but it's small in the grand scheme of things. So I feel like crossplay is a great addition. No, we know Street Fighter does it. We know Tekken does it.
Tekken does it. I don't know if Mortal Kombat does it.
I don't know if Mortal Kombat 11 does it, but I know those two other fighting games.
And this ain't even like
it should be
one of those type of fighting games. This is more like a party style fighting game where, like, because you know how it's not balanced and shit.
It's arena. It's arena.
It's arena style. It's not balanced. Like, niggas want to play with everybody that picks it up. Like, we don't really care about the balance and shit. That's the fun aspect to it. Like you were saying earlier. But real quick, I don't know. Speaking of numbers, I mean, we can kind of get into the sales.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Dragon Ball Spark and Zero. So I think the only thing that has came out so far, and I say only lightly because the Dragon Ball Spark and Zeros reportedly sold 3 million copies in the first 24 hours of the game being available.
Fantastic. That's huge. That's huge for a fighting game. I know y'all used to seeing like Spider-Man post like, oh, they did 5 million, or Last of Us did this and 48. You know what I'm saying? But this is actually huge. If you do it in comparison to even just major fighting game franchises, Dragon Ball Spark and Zero completely decimated the competition. You know what I mean? Like, I saw a post on Twitter where people compared it to how long it took for like games like Tekken, Street Fighter to hit even over 1 million copies sold. Doing that in 24 hours is incredible. And I got to give props to Namco Bandai, because the marketing for this game has been all the way fantastic. That Smash Bros marketing style works so freaking well when you have a
the way they
massive
announce the
roster of
characters.
That shit works so well. Every character reveal, I was hyped to watch. People were doing trailer reactions. Like that's super dope, man. Like the way that they rolled out this game, I think they've done an incredible job. Also, Dragon Ball fans show up. It is what it is. Dragon Ball fans show up when it comes to this type of things. If you don't know, games like Xenoverse, that game is old as hell. Xenoverse 2 is old as hell. It's still getting DLC. Content. It still gets DLC to this day, and it has a healthy pool of players. Dragon Ball Kakarot is still getting DLC to this day.
Dragon Ball just fans announced something today
for Dragon Ball Daima.
DLC for that game.
Exactly.
Hold on, real quick, because I'm a little bit lost in the Dragon Ball universe.
Okay.
Like what Daima, is that out yet? Did that start?
It is. The first episode is out. Yes.
Okay, the first episode. Okay, I thought I was like way behind. So
no. That's something that just dropped. And once again, another marketing genius, right? They launched the game pretty much simultaneously, like a week apart from the new show airing. You know what I'm saying? Like the marketing was on point when it came to this game, man. On top of that, they've been obviously listening to a lot of OG fans' requests and stuff like that. Whether it comes to like just gameplay and roster. So I think it was just a perfect storm for this game to do well. It was a perfect storm.
I mean, God rest his soul, but Akira Toriyama passed away.
Yeah,
definitely had everybody like feeling the ripples of it, and like you want to support it. Like this is their childhood, they want to play it, and like it was like eerie how it lined up where this is the first like Budokai game in so long, and it was him passing away, so everybody's nostalgic about the show. And nostalgic about the game, and then they did everything right with the character roster.
Yeah, and the game is good too. On top of that, because that's very important too. That's very important, and I think that gets lost in the sauce. Like a lot of people, there's always these discussions of we want certain games to come back and stuff like that, and I think it's a two-way street. The developer has to deliver on a quality experience that lives up to the reputation of what we have loved, right? That plus, obviously the fans' interest. You know what I mean? I think it's like a marriage between the two. And it seems like, we really wanted a Tekken 4, even though low-key we kind of got Tekken 4 with Rage and Blast. It's literally pretty much a spiritual successor of this series. Rage and Blast 1 and 2 are pretty much Tekken games, by the way. They play a little bit different, but they're pretty much the same game. If you know, right? But the fact that it's obviously... we have different expectations that it's taken up the title Sparking, which is the Japanese or European title of the game. For us, it was Budokai Tenkaichi, right? But it's taken up the title, so it's a different level of hype because you're using the IP or the branding that it's so nostalgic to many Dragon Ball fans out there who've played the games, So I'm glad they delivered, Absolutely. Man. They delivered, man. The game looks fantastic. It plays fantastic. It's extremely addicting. It's a lot of fun. I don't have much bad things to say about it. I'm really excited for the future of this game. They already announced some DLC content where they're gonna have 4. I think we only know of 1 season right now. I'm very confident we'll probably get multiple seasons of this game. They're gonna milk the shit out of this game. First of all,
absolutely.
They're gonna milk the shit out of this game.
Shit, the way they support the other games, like this shit is, and then Daima's is happening. So any new characters that get revealed there, that
they got a Daima pack.
Come into this game.
They already announced Mini Vegeta from Daima and another character that has just been introduced in the show. They already said that they're doing a superhero pack, which was the movie. So a lot of people are probably going to be excited for that new Gohan and new Piccolo Beast.
That Gohan, oh my
god! Orange Piccolo.
Yes.
And the Gamma 1 and 2 or whatever their names are. So I'm pretty sure all of those are entering the game. And I'm just really excited for the future. There's a couple of miscellaneous characters that the game still doesn't really have. So there's still a lot of potential if they want to make money. All they have to do is just add more characters to the game, and I'm sure people are going to buy them.
Absolutely. They set up for success. They listen to the fans, and they're gonna have people eating out of their hands. Like it's not even a question. Not even a question.
They delivered. They 100% delivered. The game's fantastic. As someone who's played all the OG games, so owned all the OG games, they delivered with this game. They really cooked. And I do want to go back to the numbers for a second, but I want to talk about the PC numbers. This was a post, and this was with early access. The game wasn't out because this game had an early access Bro,
Yeah.
at one point in time, the early access number hit 91K concurrent players on Steam.
That was fire.
In
Yeah.
comparison to other big fighters in the space, and this is once again technical fighters. These are esports fighters. Street Fighter 6 peak players at launch was 70K. Tekken 8 peak players was 49K. Dragon Ball Fighters, it even doubled Dragon Ball Fighters. It doubled it. Was 44K peak.
Jeez.
Mortal Kombat 11 was 38K concurrent players. Oh no, Mortal Kombat 1 was 38. Mortal Kombat 11 was 35, and Guilty Gear Strive was 31. So that's crazy.
Eclipse all that in early access.
And that's an early access. And when the game launched for everybody, it hit a peak of 122,000 concurrent players, which is absolutely incredible. This game
right now it's sitting at a healthy 54,000. So
yeah, exactly.
People fucking with
incredible. Once again, this game was probably sold well over 3 million, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get another update maybe a month down the line. I'm telling you, a game like this is gonna cross that 10 million mark pretty quickly. It will cross that 10 million mark.
I think probably by the time the end of this year. I don't know if they're gonna announce anything there, but with the holidays coming up and the holiday season, like it'll be at 10 million if not higher.
Yeah, it will 100% cross 10 million fast. And the other Dragon Ball games like Fighters, I think crossed over 10 million copies sold, but it took a little bit, right? This one is obviously gonna beat that in record time. Like it's gonna beat that way quicker.
Is this on last gen too, or is it just PS5 series and PC?
Series and PC?
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe with that new Switch, they might. If this was like a launch title for the new Switch, I think that's a good idea for.
Oh my God! If they get this on a Switch too, oh my Lord!
I think that would get a lot of Nintendo players pretty excited about that too. I think that's easy money, and I think that's gonna happen because someone in the chat could correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Kakarot launched on the original Switch. I'm not sure if Xenoverse did, but Fighters and Kakarot are 100% on Switch. And I even bought Fighters on Switch at one point in time when the Steam Deck wasn't. I don't think the Steam Deck was out at that time, and I was even enjoying playing Fighters on that. So that would be pretty cool if this game does end up on the new Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch 2. And yeah, I think once again, I think this game is gonna go crazy. It's gonna have legs. It's gonna have a huge community because that's just Dragon Ball, That's just Dragon Ball.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
So I think we pretty much
killed
that topic.
I think
we pretty much killed that topic, man. If y'all want the pods, if y'all want the beats, join the Discord. I'm in there. That's all I'm playing.
I'm pulling up this weekend. We're gonna be in there recording footage and shit like that too for the Patreon. So come through and get put on the Summer Jam screen. You heard? Yeah.
So if you want to come play, you already know we reachable. Just join up in the Discord and just say you're trying to run some matches, and we in there. Yeah, we always in there playing anyway. So. Yeah, join up. All right, moving on. What else happened this week, J-Main? Some other games dropped as well.
Yes, sir.
What else dropped, J-Main?
It was actually a good week for game drops if just a fan of game in general. But we had Metaphor ReFantazio come out.
Have you played
that game? I own it. I have not played it yet.
I have not played it yet, so I cannot talk about it. I've not played it.
Do you have the demo? Did you play the demo at all?
I did not play the demo at all, bro. I didn't play nothing when it comes to that game, bro. But I'm glad that it's getting incredible reception. It's one of the highest rated games this year.
Of the year, yeah. I downloaded the demo, never got to it because by time I was going to play the demo, it was like a few days before the game was coming out.
Yeah,
so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna just wait. But the reviews say that it's really good. I think the Metacritic was like at a 94 last time that I checked on it. Yeah, so it seems like Atlas done hit it out the park, and it's a new IP. A lot of people I've seen were calling this like Persona 6, but it's like a different setting, so it's not like the school aspect and stuff like that. It still has the social relationships and stuff.
I love social relationships in
and the games, yeah. And then it has other things that you could do within the game outside of the story and all that other stuff.
Seems to be a blend from the gameplay I've seen as well between like turn-based and there's some action in it as well. Like action. I think that's like the new thing, right? Like it does a blend of both.
Yeah. One thing
I'm interested.
I will say, I mean, I have the game, but one thing I will say I'm disappointed in is how the game actually runs on the like the PS5, Xbox Series, and stuff
Really,
like that. Like, yeah, I was taken aback because it seems like that the optimization wasn't really where I would expect it to be for a game like this. Like, it's not
it
anything
should be
that's
able to run
pushing.
nice. It should be able to
Yeah,
run
it's
nice.
not really pushing like the envelope crazy forward when it comes to even these style of games. In addition to like the graphically intense games. So for something like this to be even having frame rate drops below 60 was like, damn, like what the fuck? Like I was taken aback by that, a little bit disappointed.
Interesting.
But
I wonder why.
yeah, I don't know. I don't
Maybe
know.
CPU intensive, but the game stylistically, I know you're saying it's not like the craziest looker, but stylistically,
Oh,
the
so
game
it's
is
beautiful
beautiful. It's
stylistically.
beautiful. Like
Beautiful
they're
stylistically.
cooking
The
with
art
the
style
art style.
is
Plus the
amazing.
menus,
Amazing.
holy shit, bro! I feel like Atlas is making some of the best menus in the game, man. Like even Persona 3 Reloaded,
Yeah.
those menus are so beautiful, bro. Persona 3 Reloaded, I love. Every time I had to press start, I was in love, bro. I love that shit, bro. That shit was so fire, bro. Every time I press start.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And this is the type of game that's like it's heavily on the turn-based. I know it has some action sequences, but
Mhm.
it's heavily on the turn-based combat. So it's not a deal breaker that it has performance issues. Like I'm gonna still play the game, but it's just a little I'm
Yes.
just a little disappointed with that. But I'm happy to see that it's getting good reviews. I'm gonna get to it by the time the next podcast roll around. I'll have a first impressions on the game. That's gonna be the perfect game to play on my new best friend, the PlayStation Portal. Yeah. It's gonna be the perfect game to play on that. So
Listen.
I'm gonna check
I
it out.
will not be playing this game until I have the platinum in Dragon Ball Fighters, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Until that
Jeez.
platinum is here, this game is not getting touched. Because
What's the percentage on the platinum right now? Is it
the
easy
last I
or
checked, it was
like?
0.1, but it doesn't seem that bad. Like it doesn't
Ooh.
seem that bad, but the game, the game just got so much going on for it. I can understand people kind of losing track of like just
Yeah.
doing what you need to do to get the platinum. It doesn't seem too
Right.
crazy. It doesn't seem too crazy. But people are just having mad fun just playing the multiplayer, like man are just enjoying it.
Yeah, this is a game. You know how I know this game gonna do 20 million, and I always use this as a measuring stick. Is Facebook. Anytime I go on Facebook, and my Facebook friends are talking about a game, people that I know like ain't into the gaming scene like me,
Yeah,
I know the game is out of
yeah,
here. It
yeah.
was like that with Elden Ring. It was like that with
Funny story, crazy.
Baldur's Gate 3,
Yeah,
Black Myth Wukong, and now Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. When I see niggas
J-Main.
on the time on Facebook, I'm like, oh yeah, this is out of here.
I swear on everything. I swear on everything I love. Swear on everything I love right now, bro. I have two PlayStation 5s, right? I'm obviously buying. Yeah, I have a
I didn't know
slim
you
and
had two.
the base. Remember, I have the slim and the
Okay.
regular one joint, right?
Oh yeah. You did
Right,
get
I had the
this.
regular joint and I bought the slim. So I'm like, a brother doesn't need three PlayStations when the Pro come in. Like, what am I doing with three PlayStation? That's crazy, right? So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just get rid of one because I'm about to get the Pro.
Right.
All right. So I put an ad up for it. I put it up for some light, little 400 Canadian. So that's
On
like
Facebook?
that's like $20 US. You know what I mean? So so I put
Yeah, that's
I put
so
up for
bad.
like no, I put it up for like 420 or something light. 420. Just get this out of here. I don't really care. I'm about to get the Pro. And I kid you not, the person who came to buy the PlayStation, I kid you not, he said to me, "I'm only buying this game because buying this console because Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is out." Swear on my life, everything I love. People
Yo,
made
it's
sure
a
that they
system
got the
seller.
console. He wanted a PlayStation, right? So he can go buy Dragon Ball Spark. I swear on everything I love. That's why he came.
Bro.
He said he wanted the console.
Yeah.
The game's gonna
I
go
believe you.
crazy. The game is
I
like
believe it.
Dragon Ball is a franchise. It's just it crosses more. Like it's not just in a small box. Like it's a huge major
No.
franchise that transcends. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those,
Yep.
yo. And this
And they're still going like with
Mhm.
new
content,
sagas and
shows,
shit like
movies.
that. Yeah, so even like younger kids can hop in and find new
Exactly.
favorite characters that they love. Like now you got the Daima going on, so that's a whole nother generation that's about to come in and start watching
Exactly.
it. So it's like it's gonna live forever if they keep going with that. I don't know what Akira Toriyama had left in terms of when he passed, but like
Yeah.
it-
At that
it's
point,
gonna be
I
here
think he
for
was
a
just
while.
giving ideas. I don't know if he was super hands on, but
Mhm.
apparently this project he was a little hands on with the Daima project. So this is kind of his last baby. But I know with Super, he was kind of like sitting on like the head position. At this point, you got underlings, kind of.
Yeah.
helping you do some of the stuff, but you probably introduce some ideas and they run with it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like the situation that Super was, and the younger guys are like kind of taking over. But yeah, it's not, I know we're back on Dragon Ball. Something's gonna live forever though. Something's gonna live forever. But moving on, Metaphor. I will be playing this game. Everything that I see about it looks good. It's a little super like sci-fi to me, and I'm a little picky about my JRPGs, bro. If it becomes too weeby, I kind of check out. You know what I mean? I don't like my JRPGs like stupid weeby. Like I like it with a little weeb, but not like crazy weeby. But I see these guys got elf ears and all sort of shit, so we'll see how it goes. I won't judge it. Atlas has been cooking lately, so I'll give it a fair shot.
I know like it has some like what people would consider political topics in the game, but that's par for the course with Atlas, and even like the Persona games had shit. The first
Why the game's woke?
Well, that's what was surprising is that people haven't been calling it woke, even though it has a lot of things that people would consider woke, and the anti-woke crowd will go against.
J-Man, if you're not playing as a black person, if you're not playing as a macho woman, people don't give a fuck, bro. They don't give a fuck, bro.
As long as you got elf ears, you got fucking teeth the size of Mexico, like it don't matter like what the political topics is about.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
But if you're black with political topics or a woman with political topics, it's
they got a problem. They got an issue, bro.
Yo, that's a fact. But yeah, like you said, I'll be checking this out.
When it comes to that whole woke stupid agenda too, like when did these guys start gaming? Because politics is low key has been in video games forever. If you really taking out like bro, if you play like the OG Metal Gear Solid games, like what do you think like the game is all about? Yo, what do you think it's all politics, bro?
It was some dude that made a post and he was comparing a game from today to Metal Gear Solid 3. Are you dumb? Like, are you fucking stupid? Like, he's like, take me back to when games were like macho, like Metal Gear Solid 3. Are you fucking stupid?
Bro,
that whole fucking
politics
Metal Gear Solid series is political.
It's all politics, bro. Yeah, man. It's interesting, man. I think honestly, I feel like half of those people that like keep on bringing that shit up are not even real gamers. They're just here to, capitalize on on some right wing people, like just to get money and views and clicks, bro. You know what I mean? Because half of those people don't even really be playing games like that, bro. You know what I mean? Like you would never catch one of these guys post gameplay. You would never catch them share their PSN, their Xbox Live. Half of them don't even play no games like that. They're just here to push the agenda. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's it.
Crazy. But and continue with game releases. I think the other big game that dropped was Silent Hill 2.
Yep. Another game I'm not
remake. Touching. You're not playing that at all?
I'm not touching it until I'm on the Dragon Ball Z. Until the Dragon Ball Z kick is over. Until the Dragon Ball Z kick is over, I'm not touching nothing, bro. I'm playing.
Nah, I thought you were saying that because I did see like some technical issues with. I know the PC had stutter issues, but I don't think
I'll
it was
play
like
it on PC. I won't play it on console, even if
consoles was having some problems in the performance mode. But people were surprised that the game actually had a lot of glowing reviews. I think it's sitting at the high 80s right now. It seems like Bloober Team did a good job, I should say, with the remake.
Wow.
Yeah, people were surprised.
We impressed. This is their highest rated game ever. Check on Metacritic. This is their highest rated game that they got. It got like an 87 on Metacritic.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not gonna 100% give them credit because you're working with a very, how can I say,
from the IP, loved IP.
Yeah, like it was a niche IP
template,
but it was something that a template to work from. That's the word I was looking for. A template to work from. So you pretty much you had to follow the template, update the controls, make sure that it's running at least decent enough for reviewers and shit like that. So I'm not ready to say like, okay, this is their, magnum opus, but they did what they were supposed to do for the
I'll give them a little credit, J-Main, even though you do say that. Since the original Silent Hill was almost like a Resident Evil situation with fixed camera angles and stuff like that. Yes, the story, they didn't have to invent new characters. They didn't have to invent new bad guys unless there's new enemies that I'm just not aware of. They didn't have to invent, like they had a template to follow with those things, right? But I will give them a little bit more credit because this remake is one of those, it's like a Resident Evil 2 remake in the sense where it kind of the old game is very, very different in the sense of like perspective, controls, all of that. So there is still potential here for them to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? There's still a lot of room for them to fuck up. On top of that, from what I've heard about the game, is that they have expanded on certain things. It's not like a straight one-to-one in the sense where certain sequences play out exactly like the original. Apparently, boss fights have been fleshed out to be a little bit different and better. Apparently, the puzzles too, which I heard is a good and a bad thing, where the puzzles got a little bit expanded. They made like maybe some shorter puzzles a little bit longer. I heard some people complain about that.
I heard that as a knock.
Yeah, I heard that as a knock.
I heard that was a knock.
Yeah, I heard that was a knock, and I also heard that people enjoyed it. So I don't know. I guess it's a mixed bag.
I think I would like something like that, like because they were like, oh, by the time like they got towards the end of the game, where a puzzle where it looks like straightforward from the beginning would turn it to something a little bit more diverse or complex. They was like over it by that point. I was like, wow, I'm surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
I like puzzles.
Honestly, I'll give them credit. I'll give them credit. I know people always say, yo, it's just a remake, this, that, but I'm pretty sure this type of remake, this is not no resolution bump, but this is not just, we just fill in the texture. This is kind of like, yo, they kind of redid the experience from the ground up. I'll give them credit that, like, they accomplished a task and they did it well. We also heard that this game has crossed 1 million copies sold, so that's good for Blooper Team. I'm pretty sure Konami's pretty happy with that. And it's probably a game that, will probably sell pretty decent over time. I'm hearing no Silent Hill game has sold 1 million copies this quickly, so that's good news. So I'm pretty sure, Blooper Team has to be proud of their work, and I'm pretty sure Konami's really happy with what they've done too. So now I'm gonna give them some credit, J-Man. I'm not gonna just say it was a remake. I'm gonna give them some credit that they actually pulled this type of remake off like successfully.
They get a little bit because I was actually not a super fan, but I thought the medium was actually okay. Like when I played that game, I'm like,
put it down, man. I need
like I thought with the medium, which is something that they built from scratch, was something that had a lot of great ideas, but I feel like they didn't flesh it out.
Execution.
The execution wasn't on par with what I was hoping. But with the medium, the story and like the narrative and all of that, I thought that was amazing. Like I was like the topics that they tackling and shit like that. I thought was like, damn, like a lot of game creators don't go here with their stories and the characters and stuff like that they're telling. So now I'm looking forward to, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but at the Xbox game preview, they actually announced a new IP. So I'm looking at that. I'm like, oh shit, okay. I'm going to see where they go from the experience they had with the medium, the experience they gained with Silent Hill 2, and now to put it in a whole new IP that they're building from the ground up. Like this could be the one that really puts Blooper Team, like from people looking at them like, they just make mid shit to, all right, they're here. Like they actually make good stuff.
Honestly, you just pretty much took my point. I'm hoping, and we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but yeah, they did reveal a new game at the Xbox partnership, and like you said, man, I'm hoping it's a situation where they learned a lot from this Silent Hill experience in terms of, what people like, controls. I'm hearing this game's a third-person shooter as well. Like
it looks like Dead Space, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
it looks like Dead Space.
Exactly. So hopefully they can took all the lessons that they learned from at least with this whole experience and create their own original game, and let's see how people feel about them next. If they're successful with this new IP, J-Man, then I guess people will look at them and have a different type of respect. I think people don't really have that respect now because, once again, I think people are going to use the remake thing on them. Like, oh, you just remade something that was already great and beloved, even though they did an incredible job with it. But if they could successfully drop their own IP and it's great, gets a 87, 86, 88 on Metacritic, then I think people start looking at Blooper Team in a different light. Maybe it's just a studio that needed more time to evolve and cultivate and get into their bag. They had to drop some duds before the fire come out. You know what I mean? So maybe it's just one of those kind of cases. So I'm not gonna lie and tell you guys I'm looking forward to this game. I'm really not, but I'll keep my eye out on it. Whatever game that this game's called.
Oh, the new IP.
I don't know what to think of it, but I seen a couple of screenshot stills, which the graphics do look on point, but I guess more will be revealed.
Yeah, we definitely got to see more.
Wait, it's a little
in terms
bit of a
gameplay
approach.
They only showed a man walking in a straight line.
Yeah.
But they showed like some CGI stuff that kind of creates the eeriness and sets the tone
Yes, sets
for
the
the
tone,
game.
atmosphere, exactly. So we'll keep our eye on this, and I hope they're successful in everything they do. So we can leave
For
it at
sure.
that.
For
Is there
sure.
any other game releases? It seems like
Um,
we've been getting some really good games lately, like the past month or two. I lie, right?
yeah, this is usually the time of the year where people try to put out the big bangers for the holiday season and shit like that. So, shit, I ain't gonna cap. Like next week, nigga, Call of Duty come out. I want to play that bad. Like I'm looking forward to that. I already actually got it. Like my game share partner already copped it, so I have that game already. I'm playing that. I'm trying to think that anything else come out this week that we missed. I don't know if y'all in the chat
Until
could
Dawn release, which I did get a review.
Oh,
I did get a
I forgot
review
about that
code
for a
copy.
reason.
I
Yes,
did get it. I
yes.
think I got a review code copy the night before, and that's never really a good sign. You know what I mean? That's never really a good sign when they be doing that. But yeah, I got a review code copy for Until Dawn the night before. If I got it earlier, I would probably had a review out for you guys. But I just, with everything going on, I just didn't have the time to even complete it. But I did play the first 3 chapters, J-Main. I don't know if you checked it out, but I did. I played the
No.
first 3 chapters, and it's Until Dawn. I think what did they really improve? I think they let you control the camera now. Like the thing is, I played the
Yeah,
old game so long ago, I kind of forgot how it went. Like
it's
I still
almost
remember
10 years ago.
Yeah, I still remember like certain story beats about the game,
Mhm.
but I kind of forgot how the game played and controlled.
I think
But
some of the major
you
changes were
couldn't move
like
the
that.
camera, right? You couldn't move the camera
No,
before, right?
it was a
Okay, so
fixed
that's new.
camera, fixed
Yeah,
cameras.
yeah, yeah.
It was a little bit
Um,
more freedom than like say like an old school Resident Evil, but like when you go to another area, the camera will switch to another
we'll
one, and you
switch.
could like move around that area. But
Okay.
now, yeah, I think you can
Yeah, you
control
can
the
move around. Yeah,
character.
you can move the camera freely. It's still pretty much the same experience from what I've played so far with the quick time events. I don't think they're doing anything new there.
Mhm.
Um,
I think they added like a prologue. I think a prologue to the game to give more context to everything
mm,
that happened that led up to the events of the game. So I know
okay.
that was new. There are some new end game cutscenes, and in regards to spoilers, I won't mention what they were, but yeah, there was some new stuff there as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that was like some of the newer stuff.
As for performance, this game doesn't have any performance modes. I checked, all right, and the
Mm-mm.
game is locked at 30 frames per second. From
Ugh,
it's locked at 30
nasty
frames
work.
per second. Do I think the visuals are bad? No, I think the visuals are actually okay. I think the visuals
I'm
are
a little
fine.
disappointed with the visuals. I don't like how they changed up
Yeah,
the color
aesthetically,
palette
yeah, I
and
think
the
that has
lighting.
switched
I'm not a
up
fan of that.
in comparison. Like scenes that used to be a little darker in like
Yeah,
in the first game are a little bit brighter in this one. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So they kind of changed up the like certain scenes and the aesthetic
And it went
look
from
of it
that
a little bit.
like blue hue tint to like that
So a little
yellow.
bit more warm. It's more warm.
Yeah, yeah. They went from
In
like
some
cool to
scenes,
warm.
to cool to warm. That's what it is. But that's only
Yeah,
in certain scenes. There's certain scenes that it's still,
it's
pitch
still blue.
black, dark. It's kind of blue.
Mhm.
Like especially like the nighttime scenes. But there were some scenes that were dark in the game, and they just made a day, or they made it like sunrise. I don't know. I don't know where they're cooking
So
with that
now
one.
I'm wondering if those scenes were areas of the game where it was still like turning nighttime and like it
Like, or
wasn't
was it
completely
intended? Like,
nighttime.
was it intended to be that, but they just couldn't do it like that or
Yeah,
something? I don't know. Who
that's what
knows?
I'm wondering. Like if it was like sun setting and they were I guess dawn, like approaching dawn or dawn
Yeah,
approaching night.
yeah.
Um and that's why it
Because
was like
it's
that
early,
orange
yeah,
hue.
you know why you saying that too, and it might be that's the reason. This may be like a choice for the direction of the game because it makes more sense. Because
Hmm.
I've noticed those brighter scenes were kind of in the beginning of the game when they're like coming into the cabin and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, they were on like the ski lift and stuff like that.
Yeah, coming into the cabin. So maybe that's why they did the art
Mhm.
direction to like say, okay, it's brighter here, and the sun is going down pretty much, and that's where all the crazy shit start happening, right? So
That
it
would
could be
make
that.
sense. That would make sense. But I don't plan on picking this up. Um I didn't feel like it was a need for a remake. I know they got the movie. Actually, the movie wrapped up and they announced the release date and everything. So it seems like with PlayStation, if they got any TV shows or
Oh, that's
movies within the
crazy,
works,
crazy.
they're gonna
Crazy.
remaster the game or remake the game in some capacity. I'm not a big fan of that because I just feel like they could spend those resources on something different. Until Dawn actually runs on the PS5 in backwards compatibility mode at a damn near lock 60, if not a lock 60. And the
Really?
game still looked great on the Decima engine. Yeah, like I don't like I get it, they want like a whole new SKU there, but it's like, why? They have the PS4 version there. It's not like somebody's gonna watch the movie and be like, oh my god, I love this movie. I wonder if there's anything else. Go on the
Yeah.
PlayStation Store and be like, oh, the PS4 version. I don't want to play that. Like, nobody's
Yeah.
gonna say that. Like, who's gonna do that? Like, it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
necessary.
I think some games, this strategy that they have could work. I think with franchises like The Last of Us, I think franchises like Uncharted, I think those can work with the whole TV. But Until Dawn, I don't know. The fact that the gameplay is pretty much extremely cinematic in a sense is like, you know, like, yo, I might just get a better experience out of just watching it. But I guess, you know, versus watching it and playing it, you have the choices of who lives and die. I guess that's like the differences, right? That's the difference.
That's what I'm interested in seeing about the actual movie. Is like, what are they gonna do for those choices? Are they gonna make like everybody survive, or are they gonna have like certain people die and shit like
or
that?
do one of them Netflix interactive movies where you that would be horrible.
Oh no,
I'm sorry, didn't Netflix do something like that before? Yeah, that's like the game.
They did. That's the game. I think they're gonna stick with a certain, unless they're telling a completely different story. It could be the case where they're telling a completely different story. But I don't know. I got to see what that is.
So Jamie, when I played, and it's quite funny. I feel like Until Dawn is one of the first videos. Is the cause of that video, my review, is the cause like why we probably even like linked up and we connected.
It really was.
Right?
It really was.
Until Dawn. That's funny, right?
Full
I think that's one of the.
circle.
I think that's one of the reasons that I even connected with BG because I think he's seen that review and he wanted me on this on Weapon Wheel podcast. I think that's
Yeah,
how
because he don't like that. He didn't
Yeah.
like the game. He didn't like the game.
And I wasn't really a fan of the game either. Like I thought the game was like whatever. I wasn't like the biggest fan of Until Dawn from what I remember. When I reviewed the game, but you know, me playing at least the earlier parts of the game with different eyes, like now I kind of understand the corniness, the cringiness. It's kind of supposed to be like that. You know, it's it's like a slasher, Scream type of slasher where they do the corny, cringy stuff. You gotta have some teenage sex in the movie. They gotta try to hook up. The bad guy is gonna come and try to kill them. All sorts of real shit. You know what I mean? Like the typical slasher type of movie, right? Now that I have that kind of perspective, when I was playing the game, I wasn't really looking at it like that. Now I'm looking at that as I play the game, and I'm like, okay, I could kind of understand and see why people would enjoy the narrative because there are people that actually thought like the story was cool, like they enjoyed the story experience. And I guess if you're a fan of those goofy horror style slasher movies, maybe Until Dawn's a story that you would actually enjoy. Like now I look at it at a different type of a lens. Yeah. I think you liked it, right? You enjoyed it.
I did. I loved it.
Yeah.
For me, it has that like, you know, slasher campy camp horror slasher stuff on the surface, but then like if you try to once you delve deeper into the story and figure out everything that's going on, I like that part of it too because it has layers.
Mystery, I remember. Yeah, there's a big
yeah,
mystery
there's layers to the
that.
stories. There's a couple things that happen that, you know, might throw you for a loop or something like that. So yeah, it was something like that I was like, all right, that's cool. And I'm a big fan of those horror. Like I'm a big horror movie fan in general. So stuff like this is right up my alley. Right up my alley. So I liked it. But
so it does follow all the same tropes as you would expect. Look, it's a game that would I recommend it if you're like J-Man and you enjoy those type of films. Low key, you might play through Until Dawn and you might think it's actually not that bad. You might be like, yo, this story was actually fun. Maybe you play with your girlfriend or your wife, or you might actually have a good time if that's your thing. But if you're not really a fan of those horror, cringy kind of jokes, slasher horror films, then it might not be for you, you know. And I'm not really super big into those, but you know, that's why maybe it didn't connect with me as much. But you know, like I said, playing through it now, the first couple of chapters, looking at it through a different lens of okay, this is not supposed to be so serious, right? It's not supposed to be serious like that. Then I kind of understand it more. That's what I would say about it today. Like I understand it a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for this to. So there's rumors now, like heavy, strong rumors going around that there's going to be an Until Dawn 2.
A sequel on
the way.
Yeah,
that's it's funny. Like I did a video on the Until Dawn 2 so many years ago. It's actually one of my best performing videos on my small YouTube channel, and It actually ended up turning out to be Supermassive working on something else, but it could have been them working on this because I heard that they were working on this, but then something
It
happened
probably
with
work out
PlayStation.
canceled, probably.
Yeah, it got canceled and shit like that, and that's how Ballistic Moon got formed. It's actually employees from the Supermassive Games that created that studio. Now they're working on this. They worked on this Until Dawn remake. But there's rumors going around about Until Dawn 2. If that ends up being a thing, I may fuck around and get the Until Dawn remake. Yeah, to run through it. But I'm not. I just don't feel like there's a need for it. I'm kind of the same mind of Horizon Remastered. Like it's not needed for me. It's not. So if somebody want to get it for me or something like that, I'll play it. But
Somebody want to chat, you know, I don't give me the game real quick. I'll play it. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Other than that, I'm cool.
Yeah. All right. Talking about Horizon. Now that you mention it, apparently, Guerrilla Games' next major game, is not going to be Horizon 3. It's actually going to be Lego Horizon. I'm playing. It's actually an online Horizon game. You know, we've been hearing rumors, a whole lot of rumors when it comes to Guerrilla Games and what they got coming down the pipeline. And I remember at one point in time, we were hearing that they were working on a Horizon multiplayer game. They were working on a Horizon MMO game or something. So it seems like that's their next major project. And it's not Horizon 3. How do you feel about this, J-Man? I don't know if it's confirmed to be this is the MMO title or this is the cartoony. I remember we've seen leaked pictures of it. The cartoony.
Yeah. It was actually gameplay.
It was gameplay, right?
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes or
Fortnite looking version of that of Horizon. Yeah. I wonder which one it is. Which one do you think it is?
I think it would be the cartoony Fortnite version looking of Horizon. Okay. Because the MMO, if I'm not mistaken, was supposed to be being made by NetEase. And so I don't Guerrilla may be involved with that, but I don't think they're going to be like as hands-on as they would be with this Horizon multiplayer game. No, not NetEase. I'm sorry. NC Soft. NC Soft. I'm sorry.
Okay.
NC Soft. I'm thinking of NetEase because they just announced some Destiny mobile game.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But so how I feel about this, I think I'm okay with it. I think Horizon. I don't want to see Horizon a mainline game until at least like mid towards the late of PS6. Like I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I think we can do a break with it. Like, do we really need like another one? Unless like if they're making Horizon 3, they have to do something new with that franchise. Like bring something new to the table, right? Plus, and maybe take the time to flesh that out and really come up with some new concepts and just another open world with a whole bunch of shit in it.
Right. And plus the way the story ended, no spoilers, but the way the story ended and where it went, I think they can do a lot of cool shit with the technology within that world that has came about and where that story is headed. So take some time. It does not need to be anything that we need to see at the beginning of the next generation. Like I said, middle to the end of next generation, we cool. And plus, they're filling in Horizon and all these other places with the Lego Horizon.
Exactly.
You got VR games, you got fucking remasters. Like they giving us the whole fucking load. Pause. They giving us the whole load of Horizon right now. TV show they working on, a rebooting, whatever.
Yo, PlayStation love that franchise. You know, PlayStation love them some Horizon. Yo,
telling you. That's the Assassin's Creed, man.
This is what's crazy. What's crazy? Look, I just not hate, but like I don't never feel like never run into like a gamer or casual gamer. He's like, yo, that Horizon. Like I've never seen it. Like why they have so much faith in? Like they love this franchise. They're like that, yo. They love it. But one thing I'm gonna say is that I do like, and I hope this is a trend, going forward for PlayStation, because I feel like this can help solve some of the issues that like Jack has about some of their like the IPs. I think it's a great idea for PlayStation to really start licensing their IPs to other prominent studios to work on games for them. I don't think that's such a bad idea.
I agree.
I think they should do that. I don't mind
it.
Yeah. Give it to some trusted, talented developers to work on some of your IPs, your dormant IPs, maybe some of your popular ones too, if they're doing spin-offs. I don't think that's such a bad idea, man.
It's not, because PlayStation is not in a position like, say, a Microsoft to buy up all of these studios or publishers. So they kind of have to spend their money in more creative and wise ways And that would be taking an already established franchise and making a different type of game out of it.
Yeah.
Um, and like you said, that would be licensing it out to other studios, like you see with Lego Horizon, or if NCSoft is doing the MMO and shit like that. So yeah, I agree with that 100%. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely like PlayStation to do more of that in the future, and I think that's a nice way to get out some of these big brand names out right in a timely manner. While their main studios are cooking up some major games, you could, even if they're smaller AA games too, it doesn't always have to be something major. I think that's one of the reasons that I kind of like, even though like I'm not once again the biggest Horizon fan in the world, but I kind of like seeing that Lego Horizon exist just because just the idea. I kind of like the idea of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact, like what they're doing with that. I like that idea, and hopefully they do more things like that with their IP. I like that idea.
For sure.
Yeah,
But
and it's also
I'm
like
a fan
smaller,
of the.
smaller title game too, which not everything got to be super massive to be good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Because all these games having huge budgets and shit like that, you need
exactly.
some of these smaller titles that can
Fill the gaps a little
fill in
bit.
the gaps. Yeah,
Exactly.
and I'm a fan of them doing a Horizon multiplayer. I think it works well with that type of gameplay and what they got going on with the machines. So hopefully they could, that could come to fruition, and it actually is a thing because I would be there to play it.
When do you think we get an announcement for this? If you had
If
to make
it's
a prediction.
if it's been going smoothly with development, and we had that leak, I think that it was beginning of this year or late last year. I think next year, by like late next year, we could see an announcement about this game.
Yeah. Once again, we're entering the second half of the PlayStation 5's life cycle.
Mhm.
I think they're gonna end strong, like last generation, how they ended strong. And I think I know a lot of people are still, I know a little people tempers are a little bit calm now since we at least got something from Sucker Punch with Ghost.
Yeah.
People are a little happy about that.
I still need one more.
You
I need
more,
one
right?
more before the
But
year's over. One or two.
If I'm a
one or
betting
two.
man, I believe like these next 4 years we're gonna see from the major studios that the games that y'all want to see. I think we see Cory Barlog's game. I think that's gonna launch.
Blue Point, like come
Blue
on.
Point.
I hope Blue Point is not doing. Oh my god.
Naughty Dog's new IP. That's all. I think
What
we
if-
start seeing some of that going next year. Wolverine, more looks at Wolverine. I think so, man.
What if Blue Point is working with fucking, because there's a rumor that came out about I forgot, I don't know if I put it on the list, but Santa Monica is doing a God of War Greek saga
I
remake
heard about
or remaster.
Yo, I hope that's real, bro.
I hope it's
hope
real,
that's
but
real.
I don't
I hope
want.
that's real.
I don't. Oh wait. Okay, no. The rumor is that Nixies is working on it. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Which is pretty dope.
I'm okay with that.
PlayStation is also making them do a little bit more than just port games over. They're making them actually, because apparently they're kind of helming the Horizon Zero Dawn remake.
Yes.
It seems like they have a major part in recreating it and bringing it to the Horizon Forbidden West style, or whatever, you know what I mean? So that's pretty cool that Nixus got other projects outside of just making PC ports as well. Like they're actually creating to a certain degree.
And if they're doing the God of War one, is definitely one that I would like to see.
I would love to see that. I would love
remaster.
To God of War 1
and
and
it's
2
it's supposed to
like
be
that, yeah.
all of the Greek Saga games too. So that's the handheld
1, 2, 3.
ones. That's 1, 2, 3. That's Ascension.
Ooh,
Ghost of Sparta.
Ghost of
Chains of
Sparta,
Olympus.
and Chains of Olympus,
Yeah. So I would like to see that.
That's a massive project. Well, see, when you say like that, J-Man, I'm a little bit worried in a sense, because that means each individual game might not get the treatment that I would like to see. You know what I'm saying? When you and we kind of got a collection like that already. I'm really hoping they're not just kind of bringing like sagas over to like the PS5. That would be a little bit disappointing in my personal opinion. If that's kind of like the project. If you're asking me personally, I'll be like, yo, remake. If I was dumb, I'll remake each game individual, one by one, and resell it. I think that's an easy cash cow. God of War remake, God of War 2 remake, God of War 3 remake. I think that's an easy cash cow right there. But if they're doing this massive collection, which it's definitely cool to have, and we've seen it before. But how much care is really being done to each individual game, Jamie? You got to ask yourself that question, right? Because
That's true. When it's
if it's a
five
major,
games like
yeah, that's a major task. Like that's
actually, what,
major. That's a
6?
lot of work.
Yeah, that's 6 games. Because
That's a
wait,
lot
one,
of
two,
work.
three, Ascension. Yeah, and the 2 portable games. Damn, 6 fucking games. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine
Yeah.
all of that is gonna get like a Silent Hill type of treatment. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Right.
it's hard to imagine. I think that's not the case. I don't think that's the case. No
Even
way.
Nyx is just they're working on the like you said, the Horizon joint. And like we're seeing, I saw some comparisons. Like there are a lot of areas in that Horizon remake that have some pretty substantial upgrades. Not all of it, but some of it is like with the character models, some of the foliage and the environments and shit like that, the lighting and all of that. So I don't know if they're gonna put that amount of effort into fucking six games.
Individual. Yeah, it doesn't sound believable, right? It doesn't sound believable.
That's a big task. That's a big
Which
task.
is kind of leading me towards that this is maybe a massive port of all the OG games, probably with some upgrades, but nothing stupid, like stupid crazy. And probably since Nixus is involved, it's gonna release on PC, so that now like the whole God of War Greek Saga can be experienced on PC type of situation. Like I could see something like that happening, but as for them remaking each individual game, that really doesn't sound feasible or believable to me.
You know what I'm thinking? What if they just do the main three?
And they skip the PSP. I was just thinking about that, right?
Well, they could even include the other games like as part of the package, just like a 4K remaster or something like that, like up-res and shit like that. But the main 3 are the ones that are going to get the attention that the Horizon remaster would get, because Horizon is a bigger game than, let's say, one of the God of War games. Like it's open world, it has a lot of more biomes and shit like that. So if they can give that attention to the main 3, and then the others just be like a 4K upscale, up-res, improve the textures and shit like that. It's, on a smaller scale.
See, the funny thing is with God of War, if they were to do a God of War 1 remake, like I kind of want it to be extremely faithful. I wouldn't want God of War 1 to be put in the perspective of like 2018 or Ragnarok. I wouldn't want that, to be honest. If they're bringing that back, I want it to be extremely faithful, and that actually might be a good thing in the sense that the type of work that will go into it, because going back and looking at these PS2 games, they're like, especially like a game like God of War, like in comparison to like God of War 2018 or Ragnarok, it's not nearly as massive. You know what I mean? The cameras are fixed scene by scene. It seems like maybe there's a possibility that like they can go in there and just update assets and make it look bad clean, right? And I think even like that, something like that, I'll be really happy with. They just upgraded like all the assets of each scene. Character models are changed, maybe new effects, but it's pretty much like the skeleton is literally like the same game. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. It doesn't need to be like a Silent Hill,
right?
Like type of remake where they change, like they're going crazy like that. Like I don't think I need all of that for the OG games.
Yeah, that would be. Because like they completely changed up how Kratos moves in the newer games. So like I know like they could probably like they could have the jump button within like the Ragnarok and
I would hate to see that style. To be honest. I would hate
but
that.
I wouldn't.
Nah, it would have to be faithful. It would have to be faithful, or I don't want it to. Like keep it faithful, the hack and slash.
People would rage.
Yeah.
That would if they changed it to be like God of War 2018, but the God of War 3 world, and hell no. I wouldn't even want that.
Keep it faithful. I think those games need a. It's kind of like a time capsule games. Like those games were a moment in time that were just so fun for the style of game they were. You know what I mean? And I feel like if they were to do a major change like that, I don't know how people would be receptive of that like too much. Like especially like the OG fans. I think most of us would kind of like it to be faithful to like the original style of play, but just look better. Yeah. I think that's all we would want, right? For it just to look better.
Yeah. Because like I wasn't like. It wasn't the end of the world for me that they went from the God of War 3 style or Ascension to the 2018, because it was still ended up being a great game. But I don't want them to change what was to that there. I don't want them to do that.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Like it seems like the rumor of this God of War thing, like where there's smoke, there's fire. Like we've been hearing about this. It's not the first time we heard about this rumor, right? J-Man, it's not the first time. So maybe something is cooking that has to do with like a God of War remake.
For sure.
The leaker you said has some sort of credibility, and he's saying it's all the games, right? Or some sort of collection.
Yeah, he's saying it's the Greek Saga collection. Coming over to the PS5 and PC. I'm pretty sure.
Honestly, my brain is telling me it's gonna be something not like substantial in terms of like what they're remaking. Like it's too much games, especially if they're doing all of them. I don't think so. But I think people will still accept that. Like the fact that those games are playable on PS5, J-Man. I think people will still accept that even if it's not like something from the ground up, you know what I mean? I think people will still be really excited to have the ability to play all those
because
games natively on the PS5.
A lot of those games are stuck on PS3.
Or you have to stream it.
Or stream it, yeah. Nobody trying to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
The majority of people are not trying to do that.
Exactly.
Because God of War 3, I think, was the only one that was remastered on PS4. And that was it. Everything else is streaming.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. I do want to talk about, this was pretty big news during the news cycle that we missed. 343 Industries has rebranded. It seems like a major shakeup has happened at the studio. A lot of heads clearly have rolled, and Microsoft is taking 343 Industries into a new direction. So Microsoft put out this 6-minute trailer pretty much explaining the future of Halo. And I feel like, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like it's not the first time I've seen a video like this discussing the future of Halo. Like, how many times y'all gonna change the future of Halo, bro? You know what I mean? So, so the big thing is that slipspace is no longer a thing. They're moving on from slipspace, which is an engine that is actually built up on some old shit from I heard that engine is actually mad old. So I know they kind of rebranded with Halo. Is it Infinite that they called it Slipspace? But it's actually based off their older engine. You know what I'm saying? And now they're moving to Unreal Engine 5, which is an industry standard. People who go to college for programming and trying to be game developers, apparently in their curriculum, they or like the basic that shit that they use is like Unreal Engine. It's like a very common industry
one of my best
standard.
Friends is getting into game development. Like
I pray for him
these days.
I pray for him, bro. Man's gonna work on one game and lose his job the next right after that game is done, bro. Man's gonna lose his job and go. Yeah, the gaming industry is so volatile. I don't know how y'all could do it, bro. That shit is crazy.
It was for him. It was a childhood dream that he wanted to at least see through. But he's been learning Unreal Engine. That's what. So yeah, to add to your point, I think that Unreal Engine is the standard. I think Unreal and Unity.
Yeah. Exactly. So, exactly. So what does this mean for Halo? This means that I think this is good news. I think this is good news. Personally, if you're asking me, at least to switch over, because on paper, it should be good news. That means that now when they hire somebody to come work for the team, right? Yeah. They don't gotta train them to learn how to code and develop or whatever, do what they do for their weird slipspace engine where they gotta learn that. All of that shit works. They could jump into something and get to work and start creating right away with Unreal Engine 5. What's it called? An engine that it's an industry standard and they're most likely going to be extremely familiar with. So that's good news right there. I feel like that cuts development time in general for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
I can agree with that.
They don't have to even learn how to use slipspace. They can just jump in and start creating. So I think that's a big thing. And Unreal Engine 5 has a lot of great technologies in it. I think at least now people were complaining. Remember the whole Craig situation with Halo, right? I don't think using Unreal Engine 5, Microsoft has that issue anymore. I think Halo going forward is going to be beautiful then. If they're going to be utilizing Unreal Engine 5, I think Halo is going to be one of those games that is going to be one of those visual masterpiece, one of those showcase type of titles for Microsoft again. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, jumping from Halo 1 to Halo 2, it was a big graphical leap back in the day if you experienced it. But
Right.
you know, those kind of change with each iteration of Halo, and you know, going from 5 to Infinite. Yeah, the art direction in Halo Infinite was fantastic. I love how the way the Spartans look, but visually, it's not up to snuff to some of the games that you know we see on competing platforms and stuff like that, right? So now that Halo is using Unreal Engine 5, I think there's greater potential that it Halo is going to be actually a real showpiece game once again. Plus, there's a lot of experience. Microsoft has a lot of studios with experience with Unreal. I know they have the Coalition,
Yeah.
right? And they're really, really good at using Unreal in the sense of like we seen how Gears of War 4 and 5 look. Those games are probably some of the best looking video games on the Xbox platform. You know what I'm saying? Those games
For
look
sure.
fantastic. So the fact that there's experience in house for that, maybe there could be some cross contamination between studios, pollination, whatever they call it, between studios. I think that's good. You know what I mean? Because they could get experts from here to just come and help out if they need anything. So I think overall this is good for Halo. We're gonna get better looking games. Games should come out quicker. But Microsoft also has to solve issue that they have when it comes to I think this might solve it a little bit because I don't know if you heard when it came to Halo Infinite, they outsourced a lot of fucking shit, bro. A lot of shit they outsource. And once again, you're outsourcing all of this shit, and you got to get people on
And then you
board on
got a
this new
proprietary
engine.
engine.
Yeah, exactly. So it probably fucks up with the development a little bit. So now everything seems to be streamlined, and this is also good for the people who have the theory that Halo, like myself, is going to hit PlayStation and it's going to go multi-platform. Using Unreal Engine 5 kind of enforces that idea because once again, industry standard, it's going to be easily compatible. Like getting Unreal Engine 5 to run on a PS5 console is not going to be much trouble for them to do that. And I do think that's the direction that we're going. So, Jamie, they did do this little sit down walkthrough or whatever, talking about how this benefits Halo and stuff like that. And you watched the video. What was your pretty much thoughts from your takeaway from this?
For me, I mean,
Are you excited
like,
about this new chapter for Halo? It's too much talking,
no,
right? It's a little too
no.
much talking. I think
For
that's the
me,
problem. Yeah.
yeah, for me with Halo, like the biggest issue for me with the Halo game, I mean, I thought, me personally, I didn't think the story, like the single player portion, was all that good. I thought it was just okay. But for me, with like we know multiplayer is the meat and potatoes of Halo. And for me, I just thought like that content aspect was one of the biggest issues. I thought the
dried up.
gameplay and shit, yeah, it dried up too fast. So I thought the gameplay and shit like that was fine. The visuals, yes, we definitely all crack jokes on Craig and stuff like that, and it not being like this technical showpiece. So Unreal Engine will solve that. But at the end of the day, for me, it's just gonna come down to the product that they create when it comes to gameplay, modes, content, and shit like that. For me,
Yep.
I'm not like one of these people that is looking at this and it's like it changes my perspective on it. Either way,
Yeah.
I'm not going either way. It's not like, oh, I look at this and I'm feeling more like disappointed about it,
Enthusiastic or
or even
disappointed.
enthusiastic. Yeah, it's like it's not going anyway. It's just still right where I was at before. I just
I
show
don't
and
blame
tell.
you.
Show and tell
I
for
don't
me
I
with
don't
this.
blame you because it seems like 343 is really good at making these trailers, these videos of developers talking and how great the next Halo game is going to be. But it seems like ever since they took helm of the franchise, ever since Bungie left, and the swan song with Halo Reach, it seems like we've never got a complete package of Halo ever since Bungie left. Like there's always something wrong, whether it be Halo 5, the multiplayer was pretty fun, even though I hate the art. I think Halo 5 has the worst art direction in any Halo game. I hate the way Spartans look in that game.
Really?
It looks like
Oh,
Warframe to me.
man.
It looks like Warframe. I hate the fuck that way the art direction. They completely ruined Halo when it came to the art direction in Halo 5. But the gameplay was pretty sound, introduced some pretty cool ideas. But Jamie, the campaign was easily the worst Halo campaign I might have ever played in my entire fucking life. That Halo campaign was abysmal. You know what I mean? Multiplayer was decent too. I won't even say it's the best. It's peak multiplayer. The multiplayer was decent. Okay,
Right.
boom. They do Halo, all right, let's hit y'all with nostalgia. They do Master Chief Collection. The game's literally broken for fucking years, J-Main. It was broken so bad, they had to include Halo ODST later down the line as a sorry. I don't know if you remember that, but that was actually a thing. You know what I mean? That game was legit. It wasn't broken for a couple months. No, it was broken for fucking years. The matchmaking was fucked. That's strike 2. Yeah. Halo Infinite, I will say, Halo Infinite is their greatest attempt. Yeah, actually, no, they did Halo 4. I forgot to mention Halo 4. Halo 4 is the campaign was actually pretty good, and on the 360,
the campaign for Halo 4.
Back on the 360, right? Those visuals were actually kind of cutting edge at the time. Like Halo 4 at the 360 time, I'm like, oh shit, these graphics are actually fire. You know what I mean? Yeah. But a lot of people weren't fucking with the multiplayer. That's what happened. A lot of people weren't fucking with the multiplayer because it started introducing loadouts. They kind of try to Call of Duty Halo a little bit. And you know, it didn't really connect with a lot of people, but people did fuck with that single player, which I did too. I thought the single player was pretty solid, especially after a massive break of Halo, and you know, Master Chief waking back up and the Forerunner technology and all that shit. That shit was exciting at the time. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was exciting. But jumping forward to Halo Infinite, I personally feel Halo Infinite is their greatest 343 Industries' greatest attempt at creating a Halo game. I feel like when it comes to the art direction, absolutely nailed it. Master Chief looks incredible. Like the armor, the suit, it don't look like no stupid Warframe shit. Like he actually looks like Master Chief, how I remember him to look like in the OG games. Like a blend between Halo 3 and 2. The armor, I thought was amazing. As for the campaign, I probably enjoyed it a little bit more than you. I enjoyed the campaign.
Yeah, I remember you saying you liked it.
I liked the campaign. I kind of liked the direction that they were going with it. But they kind of led us astray a little bit. When they were showcasing the Slip Space engine, they had multiple different biomes, J-Main. Yeah. Multiple different biomes. They made it look like it had wildlife running around. Like, they gave us like a trailer that like, oh shit, if this is the next Halo game, this is super exciting. But guess what? The game comes out, one biome, bro. It had like grass, bro. It was just grass everywhere.
Same fucking tree over and fucking over. I was tired of seeing that tree in different sizes.
Yeah, bro. So they kind of bamboozled us a little bit, right? And you know, they tried a new thing with the whole free to play multiplayer aspect, which personally looking at it today, I don't like it. I wish it was just a one packing game.
Do you think it's a bad idea with them going free to play, or like do you feel like because they went free to play
I feel because they went free to play, I think because they went the free to play model, it kind of gave them the leeway to not put a complete game or have a proper plan in place, right? For them to have these long ass 6 months, 9 months, whatever month seasons.
Yeah, and that was the issue
like that,
too,
right?
The seasons being 6 months,
exactly.
When other games were doing like 3 months or something.
Exactly. Like since they made it free to play, I feel like they empowered them to do that. I'm from an era of Halo games. I played every single one of them day one, where when you bought a Halo game, it came with everything in one package. And I really hope the next Halo game, if Microsoft, y'all are there listening, if y'all ever going to buy it, y'all next Halo game needs to be one package. Campaign, multiplayer. Keep it simple. Anything after that, get just people just to buy new whatever, figure a way to monetize that. But it has to be a full campaign, full multiplayer day one. I think that will still work for a franchise like Halo. It's a franchise that has a name. It's not like like you're doing Concord. It's not like a new IP that has to build a reputation type of situation. Halo already has a name. You didn't really have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, what's exciting about this, and especially at least from the little concepts that they showed us, J-Main, it's making me believe that the Halo remake that we heard is real.
Ooh.
The Halo Combat Evolved remake we heard, it's making me believe that personally. I'm on board of it's Team Real.
So you think that would be like the next project they put out?
And I think, J-Main, that would be an absolutely fantastic idea. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I think if Microsoft doesn't do a Halo anniversary, because they already kind of anniversary Halo 1, but even that was 1-to-1. That's not what I'm talking about. They do. If they kind of do a reimagining of the original Halo 1, following the same story beats, but kind of
Right.
expanding on it. You know, the famous mission Silent Cartographer, kind of expanding on it in Unreal Engine 5. You got the classic Halo 1, his original suit. I don't know if it's what it's called, the Mark V1 or whatever that shit is called. But the classic suit, but kind of modernized a little bit. I kind of see the vision, J-Main. I kind of see the vision, bro. If they remake Combat Evolved and start all over. Fuck all that shit y'all doing. Start all over a little bit. Remake Halo 1 in a way like how Bloober Team did Silent Hill 2 and kind of not make it one for one. Because I don't know if you remember Halo Anniversary. It even let you toggle between the old look and the new look. And the new look, right? It did that little toggle thing. So it's still following the same kind of like, you know, it's following the same thing. It was just, they just increased the textures of everything. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm talking about with this remake. I'm talking about reimagine Halo 1. Yeah. You know, recreate certain sections and stuff like that.
Where did they leave off with the anniversary thing? Was it, did the last one they do was 2?
2 was the last anniversary. They did.
Oh, okay.
2 was the last anniversary that they did. And it was kind of the same thing. You know, it was one of those things that they just increased the texture quality of everything around it and assets. That's not what I'm talking about here. I think Halo Combat Evolved needs a proper reimagining style remake. You know what I mean? Once again, still hit the story beats that we like. Still recreate some of these levels, but maybe you can make them a little bit bigger. Because Halo 1 has some of the best Halo missions ever. You know what I mean? Yeah. That map when you land on the beach, bro, that shit is that's embedded in my head. Yeah. Legendary fucking map. It makes me want to go back and experience that shit. That shit was so dope back in the day. And that's why I kind of liked Infinite a little bit, because I feel like they attempted to make a giant silent cartographer. Like, oh, let's just make this whole game silent cartographer. Have these little points of interest where you drive to and you do like 1-2 mission here and leave. I feel like that's what they attempted to do. But I really feel like it's a great idea, and I think it's time. And what a way to reintroduce yourself, you know, by just recreating Halo 1, start from fresh, campaign, the multiplayer. Obviously, update the multiplayer, because the multiplayer back then, we enjoyed it. The pistol shot was, 3 shots in the head, you're dead. That won't work today. People will rage at that. So you could kind of do the multiplayer, same maps and shit, like have the Blood Gulch, Beaver Creek and shit like that. You know, have those maps, but maybe you could tune the weapons better and stuff like that. I think it could work. Because honestly, I don't read the Halo books.
Also, what else? I was gonna say real quick. Like, what else is there to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they've been trying like the other way for so long. Yeah, exactly. It hasn't clicked. So it's like, why not go back to the
Forerunner? Is not really. It don't really hit. Yeah, the Forerunner shit is cool. I get it. It's in the books, blah, blah, blah. But what people fell in love with Halo for was facing the Covenant. Facing the Covenant was always super dope. And guess what? The Flood. Those are 2 things people love about Halo. The Flood and the Covenant. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think it needs to kind of go back to that kind of style where the Covenant's the big threat, and we also got the Flood. And let's start from there. Recreate Halo 1, maybe do Halo 2 remake and see where it goes from there, man. But I think it's a good idea. I think it's a really good idea then kind of continuing the Halo Infinite storyline. I think if they're really just switching engines, y'all rebranding name studios, let's start from scratch again and from the very beginning and put the game on PlayStation. I stand by that. This game needs to launch on PlayStation. I don't care what y'all call it.
Shit, they might as well. They put everything else there.
Exactly.
Put it everywhere.
Halo needs to come out on PlayStation. And I have a theory, if Halo comes out on PlayStation, it would be the most successful Halo game we've seen in fucking years. If it releases on PlayStation, it would be the most. It would eclipse Halo Infinite. It will eclipse Master Chief, what Master Chief did. It will eclipse Halo 4. I really believe if they made a sound, solid, Combat Evolved remake, reimagining, and launch it on PlayStation, PC, and Xbox, crossplay across all devices, it would be the most successful Halo game we've seen in years. That's what I believe.
Stable's going crazy if Halo.
I think that would be a #1 seller on PlayStation. I really think it would be that crazy. I think it would be a huge, big thing on PlayStation for the simple fact that Halo's made over there.
Sea of Thieves was doing numbers on PlayStation. I know Halo will. Especially
I see the vision, Microsoft. You know what I mean? And jump into Unreal Engine 5. That dream becomes a lot easier too to do. You know what I mean? I think so. And I feel like at this point, when there was less competition on the market, it was okay for a game like Halo to be exclusive. You know what I mean? Because it was, but now we have what the Apex Legends, the Fortnites, the Call of Duties, the War Zones. We have Rainbow. There's so much competition in the market now, right? So I feel like if you want Halo to be even remotely as popular as it used to be, you really do got to make it available for as much platforms as possible. Especially, I think the franchise needs that today more than ever. Personally, that's just my take. I think the franchise needs that more than ever. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
Body that shit.
When it comes to Halo, I love that shit. Halo's
about that motherfucker.
Halo's a franchise. I grew up. I legit really. I'm not one of these fake. I actually really grew up playing Halo like that for real. Like I really grew up playing that shit. So it's definitely sad to see it in the condition that it's in, because I feel like Halo is a franchise. Yeah, no, because I feel like Halo as a franchise should be treated like Mario. It should be like how Nintendo treats Super Mario and Mario 3D platformers. You know what I mean? Like, they treat those games with so much care. That's like a staple. With each console iteration, we're dropping a brand new 3D Mario, and it's like a staple thing, right? Like, and they pack so much innovation in it, or they try to like evolve the franchise in a way, whether it be 2D jump into the 3D, the Galaxy situation. Like, they try to do something. I feel like Halo is a franchise that pretty much is the sole reason why Xbox survived for a long time. Can you imagine like the OG Xbox without Halo? Like, does the console even exist?
Halo was
anymore?
the fucking one. It was
that
was
the game.
It was
that
the
was
game.
the game to
if
have.
You had PlayStation, you was looking over with the side.
You're like, oh shit, exactly.
Yeah, they have a foot over there. That Halo look alright.
Halo don't hit like Halo's not that anymore, and it's sad to see that it's not that anymore. Will it ever be that? Probably not. But I feel like they can make grounds. Yeah, I feel like you can redeem yourself. But if you keep on dropping these half-ass games with maybe, this iteration, the multiplayer is really good, but, the campaign fucking sucks. Or this iteration, the campaign fucking sucks. And the multiplayer, or pack is good, but the multiplayer sucks. Like, you can't keep on fumbling the bag before you lose the core, like, a lot of the core people who love this shit. You know what I'm saying? Or they just move on. Like, how many mistakes can you really make before people just
it's some new leadership over there too. So
Bonnie Ross is gone.
Yep.
So it's hard.
It's hard. Director, I think.
Yeah. So it's hard to say, they're gonna 100% deliver, because I feel like, once again, we've been here before where they do these kind of talks, and when the game finally comes out, because I found recently with the past couple of Halo games, the marketing campaigns be way more grand than the game itself. Do you remember with Halo 5 where they did the whole showdown between Locke and Master Chief? Bro, the live action shit was sick. I'm like, this campaign is about to be crazy. That's what I'm thinking, bro, playing this shit. Play that campaign, I'm like, really? Really? Like, the marketing was way better than the game itself. And that was not really Halo. Like, Halo 3's marketing was insane, but the hype of the game matched that, J-Mate. The game content actually matched what that was. So it hurts me. It does hurt me a little bit, bro. Like, it does hurt me. Dog, I remember that shit. Remember it? Like, they did like a little, I don't know if they made it out of figures or toys, and Master Chief was getting held by the brute. Yeah, and he had the sticky grenade in his hand, and he looks up, he's like, "Believe" or some shit like that. I was like, oh my god, bro. I was sold right there, bro. I was sold. And I still remember the day, J-Main, that I bought, I believe it was Crackdown 1. I think it was Crackdown 1, where it came with the beta of Halo 3. Bro, I remember it was yesterday. I remember playing Snowbound in the beta, being like, this is the greatest shit I've ever played, bro. This is the greatest shit I've ever played. Playing Snowbound on the Halo 3 beta. I'm like, yo, I miss those days, man. That was really peak gaming, for real, for real. That shit was peak. Talk about peak. Damn. What a fall from grace, yo. What a fucking fall from grace, bro. This franchise really used to be the one. For real, for real. It used to be the one.
It was doing stupid numbers. Like, it wasn't even.
It wasn't really even used to be the one. I don't know, man. I guess we got to see what happens with the future. I want to be as optimistic as possible. I want to try, but I feel like, how many times do you have to get burnt before like you learn your lesson, right? So I guess we're on a wait and see approach, and I just really hope it's the complete package. I guess that's more than anything. More than talking about graphics, this and that. I really hope this next Halo game is the complete package. in terms of it has a lot at launch. I think that should be their goal. And maybe now that they're working on Unreal and they're not have to deal with Slipspace and getting new people on board on Slipspace, they could focus on content and just created dope shit and packing the game day
And
one that is good.
And the good thing about like your idea of them going back to Halo 1 is the skeleton is already there. So like
Yeah, with the story elements too, the beats.
right,
Yeah.
the story elements, the set pieces, the scenery and shit like that. All that's there. They just gotta build on it.
Yeah, reimagine
for,
that shit.
Especially for a new team, like a new leadership, a new direction. Like start from there, build on what the classic skeletons were, and then you can build from there and then start branching out to your own type of product once you feel like you have a good foothold on everything that's going on. So yeah, I like that idea. I do. I like that idea a lot.
Well, we'll see what happens. Apparently, they got multiple projects in the works. I saw a couple of people gassing Halo Infinite getting a third person only mode. I saw a couple people gassing that
yes,
shit.
Sir.
That looks trash, bro. I'm sorry.
You bugging. You
That's just
bugging.
trash.
We on that.
First of all, Halo's a franchise that historically always had like third person perspective, just on turrets. You could take off the turret and walk and take third person in vehicles, and like they historically already had like that in the game. But I think what's new about this one is like everything is third person.
Yes,
from the very
they know the superior perspective. So
if they go that direction, I'll be pissed off. That'll piss me off as a consumer. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
It's never gonna be the main way to play. But you gotta think that that's going to be within the future of Halo. That they're gonna have a third.
Make a spinoff Helldivers. Like I see Stratton that thing. Make a spinoff ODST Helldivers. That would be. They should have done that idea before.
Fire.
They should have done that idea before Helldivers. They really should have done that idea.
This could be a test. This could be a test right here. Like maybe this is something that they're working on in the Unreal Engine and they testing it out here to see the reception of it, and then they could just build off of it.
That would be fire. They had ideas like that already with Firefight. Firefight and Helldivers, isn't it not the same kind of shit? Like it's survive hordes of enemies, and it's kind of almost the same shit a little bit. They had Firefight already. You know what I mean? So,
in there.
But honestly,
that was. Yeah. What game was that in? Was that Halo?
Firefight was introduced. Wow. Maybe Shroud will remember. My memory's a little fucked. I don't. Was Firefight in 3? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like it's either 3 or Reach. One or the other. It's either 3 or Reach. It wasn't in 2 100%. It's either 3 or Reach where they started doing that Firefight shit.
3 ODST. Looks like Firefight was a thing.
Yeah, ODST when that shit happened. Yeah, 3 or 4. That's when that shit started getting introduced, like Firefight and all that stuff. I do remember that. But yeah, man,
that would be fire. That would be fire.
Yeah, Halo going third person will definitely make me scratch my head. Like if that was like the new mode, we're bringing Halo that would kill me. That would kill my heart, bro.
That's suicide.
That has to be. They have to make that game first person, bro. Like
just
fuck with first person games, bro. Like come on, like that game has to be first person. Strictly.
When is that third person coming out? So I definitely want to test it out. Let me see. Oh, okay. Actually get in.
Did they give a release date when that third person mode coming out or no? Or they just said they testing it out, right? They didn't say that, like they didn't give a launch date for it.
It's November something, I think.
Really? Okay, that's interesting then. That's interesting, but I'm not really too gassed for it. I'm not like that's not gonna be the one that make me pick up Halo Infinite and like.
Oh, you like traditional Halo over?
Yeah, I rather if I'm playing Halo, I want to play in first person. Like I'm just being honest. I want to play that shit in first person. But yeah, we'll see what happens to the franchise in the future though. You know, there's not so much that we can discuss at this point now. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, all this talk is just not smoke again, and we actually see some real strides in. Protecting the legacy of Halo. You know what I mean? If you're not going to protect the legacy and keep on making mistakes, put that shit on the shelf, return to it another time when you're ready to respect Halo, bro. That's
what the fuck? Your mic just changed. I don't know what the fuck.
It changed? Mic check. Check. Do I sound all right? Or is it still messed up?
You sound like you was in the beginning, but for a second it went to like this.
It probably just bugged out.
Bass shit. Yeah.
Oh really? It probably bugged out.
Yeah, it was like your voice was like deep
Barry
bass
White
and shit like that.
Barry White.
Yeah. What the fuck going on? We on a fucking late night radio show.
All right. Talking about Xbox, I believe it got a new executive head in Xbox Game Studios. I believe the guy from Rare
Studios. He's the new head of Xbox Game Studios.
I was confused. So what's Sarah Bond's position?
You know what? I was confused too because I thought she was. I thought
she was.
I thought Matt
right?
Booty was the head of Xbox Game Studios.
Yeah, some shit like that. Or is he fired or something? Well, he should be fired. I ain't gonna hold you.
So
he should be fired, man. Get Matt Booty out of here, man.
It says Sarah Bond is overseeing the entire brand's operations as a platform and ecosystem. I don't know what the fuck her title is though. And then Matt Booty, what is he?
Why that was him? What is he?
Let's see. Okay, yeah, there was a reorganization in 2023. Let's see if this has like a tree of what everybody's role is.
Who knows at this point? Their leadership thing is so confusing, bro.
Yeah, I know Phil Spencer is
the head of Microsoft Gaming. Yes. He got that Xbox shit out of there. He got to a point where even if he's just in charge of Microsoft Gaming as a whole. So if even the Xbox not around, maybe Phil Spencer will still be around. You know what I mean?
Right. Because you see that whole shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
his seat
Sarah
is nice.
Bond is okay. Sarah Bond was promoted to president of Xbox. Matt Booty, as of October 2023, will now oversee Xbox Game Studios and ZeniMax. And Bethesda Softworks, while ZeniMax is still being run as a limited integration. So yeah, what the fuck?
I'm so I don't know. Maybe he's helping out with the job. It's like one of those. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Matt Booty was promoted from Xbox, head of Xbox Game Studios. Got it. Okay. So he was.
To what?
He's now the president of Game Content and Studios.
Oh, okay. Dog. Oh my God, bro. Sometimes, look, I'm not no professional. Listen, I ain't no professional, but sometimes when you go through too much channels, that's where it should be getting fucked too. You know what I mean? Like when they have to go through too much channels, they got so much seats after seat. I don't know.
So yeah, I guess Alan Hartman was the head of Xbox Game Studios, but he retired, and now Craig Duncan is replacing him, who was the Rare boss. Interesting. I know Rare they've done Sea of Thieves, but which has turned into a really successful IP for them, and something that they branched out to PlayStation and is done well over there as well. So, it seems like he can run something from something that might look dire to something that looks great. So I definitely don't doubt his skills, but I just thought it was interesting that they did this switch. Nothing really to make of it though right now.
Yeah, it's nothing. Like what? Yeah, like I don't even have a take for it mainly because I don't even know the guy's pedigree too tough like that. Like I guess I don't know how long he's been working for Rare or who knows. I don't even know. I'm not familiar with the gentleman though, so I'm not familiar with him.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things in the works at Xbox Game Studios with games coming out. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out under him.
Yeah, maybe that's why they need so much people because low key they have a lot to oversee with everything they have acquired, right?
And now they got Activision, Blizzard. Even though like these publishers are acting independent, you still need somebody to. Yeah, you still need somebody to go over there and see what they're working on and shit like that. Yeah.
All right. In other news, Red Dead Redemption is finally making its way to PC after 14 years. J-Main, I don't know whether to celebrate or be disgusted, to be honest. I think I'm on leaning towards a little bit disgusted. This is a little disgusted
for that price that they're launching this shit at.
And it's like 70 over here, bro. Bro, it's 70 over here. I'm gonna check right now. It's like $70 over here, bro. Like, are y'all kidding me?
After 14 fucking years, like I don't give a fuck that it comes with
bro. $69.99 over here. $69.99 over here, bro.
They bucket on that price. That's what Rockstar definitely in a position where they know they can do whatever the fuck they want because I didn't see
scary.
I didn't see as much backlash as I thought I was gonna see on that price. So I know like Rockstar, they so comfortable with selling you whatever they want at the price that they want to put it at. And this is crazy. Fucking $50 for this game, like 14 years old. I don't care. Like, first of all, why did it take so long? Like, what the fuck? Did they have to rebuild the whole game for PC? Like, why?
I really doubt it. I doubt it. But it does have some like key PC features like DLSS. But you would think a game this fucking old, doesn't need
Right.
even features like that anyways to begin with.
Right.
But like, why does it get 14 years old and require you to put DLSS in there? Like, this should run on any modern machine, like with flying colors. Like, first of all,
it's a 360 game.
exactly,
360 game.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a little bit weird in that aspect. I'm looking at the recommended specs right now. They're saying a 2070 for the recommended.
That's recommended.
Specs. That's recommended.
Holy
The
shit.
minimum specs is a GTX 960, so that's buns, right? Like GTX.
Yeah.
Some really old shit to get it running. But they said a 2070 for recommended. I don't know if that's recommended at 4K. I'm trying to find out what that says, but I don't know. But they're saying i5. They didn't give resolutions. They said an i5, 8500, a Ryzen 5, 3500X for the CPU. So it's whatever. It's gonna have PC features like DLSS. It's gonna have ultra wide support. So I guess at least they're doing that. They're coming with some key features. As for, I'm looking at the screenshots of the game right now. As for improvements on like textures and stuff, it does look better than a 360 game. So I guess it's maybe the texture quality has been improved a little bit, like on assets, but it's nothing like super drastic. It still looks like an old game. You know what I mean?
Right.
It still looks like an old game.
They probably just bumped up the resolution on the textures and stuff like that, but it's still
maybe
they didn't redo the textures or something.
Maybe
they
put like, I don't know if they put like 4K or HD textures on the now, like with the environments and stuff like that. But look, I'm happy that's coming to PC. I'm sure the mod support's gonna be there.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
They're gonna make this game look incredible with mods and stuff like that. So
I'm waiting for the Red Dead 2 mods on this shit because what the PC community did with GTA 5 and shit like that.
Yeah,
like I can only imagine what they're gonna make. They probably, in Red Dead 2, like you get that prologue section. So if that's could definitely be like a basis for not prologue, epilogue section, and that could be a base for the mod support when it comes to making that shit look like Red Dead 2. So
okay, so the features, just quickly reading the feature, says native 4K resolution up to 144 hertz for hardware that's compatible. Yeah, the monitor support is they support ultra wide monitors 21:9, and they support 32:9, so the super ultra wide ones. It has HDR10 support and of course full keyboard and mouse functionality. It says it has DLSS 3.7, AMD FSR 3. It has frame generation. What the fuck? If you need frame generation to get this out of state, that would be insanity, bro. I'll kick my computer down the street, bro. They let you adjust the draw distance. Shadow quality settings has been improved, and it says and more, but I don't know what that more is. But so I guess there's some visual improvements as well. So hey, it's finally coming to PC 14 years later at a stupid price. What's funny, J-Man, and you mentioned this on the timeline. You mentioned something on the timeline. It's pretty interesting. You don't remember?
No, I don't. I don't remember.
On PC, on the Steam page, it says it has a little tab, a little mark in here.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It says requires third-party account Rockstar Games.
So when I brought that up on the timeline, the damage control that I got for that is we already made a Rockstar account when it came to GTA. So we already had this account for a long time now. So it doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter that they have to link the account now. They already made it. So now basically I just had to take notes on what was the reason for the complaints, and then people are still running with the PlayStation and the not being available in certain countries.
But you know what's funny, J-Man? For you to leave a bad review about it not being available, you need to be able to buy the game. And if you could buy the game, that means it's available in your fucking country. So why you leaving it? So leave it to the mans that are not available to complain, man. What's wrong with these guys, bro? But look, I do agree that PlayStation 100% needs to make PSN wildly available if they're gonna go this route. I do agree with this route though. Like if they want to make PS logins, fine, get your monthly users up. It's business.
I agree with that so much that if you can't play the game in your country, pirate the shit. Like that's how much I agree that issue. That's never even been like what I was going against. I was going against the people that complain about making an account. Like I just
making an account. Yeah, exactly.
2 seconds, dog. That shit don't take long at all.
Exactly. So. those people are more. I'd be more annoyed at if it's look. I can understand you being pissed that the game's not available in your territory, your country. I 100% understand that, and
Still that
PlayStation
motherfucker.
100% needs to do better when it comes to that, and needs to make PSN widely available, especially if you're entering the PC market like this. Like, why not sell the game in as much territories as possible? I don't know the legals, and I don't know if there's some reasons why PSN is not available. Who knows if it has to do with some sort of laws in the country? Who knows the reasons why? Because you would imagine if they could do it, like why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't they make PSN available? So it got to be something there that's kind of blocking.
You're missing out on
those.
some money.
That's money.
Like,
that's money, right? So
Right.
it got to be something there that is blocking that kind of process from happening. But hopefully that's resolved and it becomes available. So for people complaining about that, I have no issues. There's the people complaining about making an account that takes literally 2 minutes to make. Like, and the funny thing is you have to just log in once. Like, I logged in one time, and the next game that I bought and played, I didn't even have to log in again. Like, it automatically.
Oh, with the
knew.
PlayStation shit?
Yeah, you already knew. It's not like I have to
Oh
log
my
in
God,
each
are you
purchase.
serious?
Yeah, you don't have to log in each purchase.
It's just one time?
No, I logged in. I forgot what it was. I logged in Ghost, and I was already logged in for God of War. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Microsoft situation is the same thing on Steam. All you have to do is log in your thing once. Then when you
Yeah,
boot up a
it'll
Microsoft game,
detect
it will say it was detected. It would be like, oh, it'll show your account, and you have to just press like whatever that button is, and that's it. You're good to go. Same thing on PlayStation, bro.
A bunch of
I don't know.
bitches.
I don't
Bunch
know,
of
bro.
bitches.
Who knows, bro?
That's crazy.
Um,
Oh man.
And I guess to wrap up the pod, you would think that we missed like a whole lot, but low key, we didn't really
wasn't
miss that
too
much.
many major.
we didn't really. We didn't pod
the
for like
major
3
shit-
weeks.
It was a lot of game releases. That's what it was. So like a lot of
Everyone's
people
playing
talking
games
about
right
new games and shit like that. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll come back next week. I'll have more impressions on Metaphor, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna pick up Silent Hill yet. I'll probably wait for the Pro, to be honest. And get it there.
Yeah. All right. So the last thing I just want to quickly mention before we get out of here, Xbox did a partner preview. And they did announce a whole bunch of games and updates on games. That's where we heard about Blooper Team's new original game. I just want to talk about some of the standouts a little bit. This Firebreak game is Remedy's first multiplayer game that they have ever made. It's a first-person
it's like
game.
a first-person co-op game.
Yeah. It's PvE from what I'm
PvE,
reading, and it's coming out next year,
It takes place in the world of Control,
which is pretty interesting, right? So
so I think FBC is the Federal Bureau of Control. I think that's what that stands for.
Maybe that's what that stands
Firebreak.
for. Okay.
Yeah, Federal Bureau of Control, and you play as different agents and throughout the ranks of the Federal Bureau of Control. And so it says, take on the horrors of the oldest house using a variety of appropriately weird weaponry and its exciting co-op experience. FBC Firebreak arrives in 2025. It's coming to Game Pass, but I also read that it's also coming to PlayStation Plus as well. So
okay, that's
I thought
good.
I thought that was interesting, because I think with these multiplayer games today, it's so hard to break into the market with already having staples like we were talking about.
Exactly. Like
with
it's
a new IP.
Yeah.
So I think
they're more inclined to go to the free route.
Right.
I feel like they have more reason to, because like, who the hell are you, and why should we care about you? You know.
Right. So putting it on the service, I think, is smart, to get that player base up there, and then if it does well, then you cool right there. But then if you need to, then it could go free to play.
Yeah. Just going back to the Halo topic real quick, I just want to ask you a quick question, and we're out of here. Do you think it's smart for Microsoft to, when I was talking about, I wasn't really feeling the free to play aspect, and how do you feel about it? Do you think the next Halo game should be free to play? I didn't really ask you about that. I'm actually curious what you think.
I don't like the free to play model. I think there's a
you
way
always
to
preferred buying, right? You always prefer.
I always prefer, like, charge me the full price so that you feel comfortable packing the product at launch with everything, and then give everything down the line for free. The free to play model can be done better where you don't have as long as seasons, but I think when it goes free, you have to do it that way, because you need the income to come in to subsidize the development costs that you're putting out to get all that content there.
So they have to streamline. They have to drip feed you. type of
Yeah,
situation.
yeah. I would want them to do a full product, but that's why I think your idea of them doing a remake is the perfect idea because you have people that are going to be comfortable spending a full $60-$70 on something like that,
Yeah.
as long as
And
it
for
has like
campaign alone
the
too. We
campaign
love the campaign
and
of
shit
Halo.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you throw the multiplayer shit in there too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so going back, another game that I thought looked interesting, just covering some of these games or just going over them is this mouse game, PI for Hire.
Oh yeah,
This game looks
I love
pretty
that
dope.
art style, bro. That shit
This
is
looks really
nice.
dope.
I want to play that. I definitely
Yeah,
want to
whatever
play
this
that.
is, I do want to check this out. This looks really dope.
Still no release date, but it says it's coming in 2025.
It's
Well,
giving me like the Cuphead type of
Cuphead
vibe.
vibes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Cuphead vibes.
Cuphead
Yeah.
vibe. Yep.
But in a first person
Mouse
shooter.
yeah. Yeah, so
That's
it says
pretty
you'll
dope,
be
man.
investigating crimes in the world of cartoons, and taking down criminals. So it'll have like some detective aspect to it, as well as like the first person shooter stuff going on with it. That should look cool as hell though.
Yeah, really cool. Some of these indie developers, that's where we see some of the innovation, like something really, really unique.
It's hard to these companies, they don't want to risk creativity with the big budget shit because they spending so much money on it. They like, if this shit fucking flops, and we losing all that money, so they want to go with what's safe with the big budget. So you're gonna get the AA games and the indie games that are gonna be the most creative.
Yeah, and
especially these days.
We got another look at the Yakuza game. For those who are interested in the franchise, we got another look. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Yes. I ain't gonna lie.
One day, man. That's all I have to say. One day I'm gonna get into this franchise for real, bro. One day, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. I was watching a little bit of the previewed Xbox shit, the partner preview. This trailer came on. I think this shit look fun as hell.
It does.
This Yakuza pirate shit looks
fucking
fire. Though. I'm looking at this shit like, yo, it fucking fits perfectly with the whimsical style of Yakuza. And then you a fucking pirate, and they have like the ship combat.
Yeah,
and then you can invade the ships
type shit.
And it has the wild ass combat from the Yakuza as you invading the ships. So the combat and the gameplay looks nuts. You on the beach and stuff like that fighting. I'm like, yo, this shit look fun as hell.
This franchise I'm so confused about the storyline. Like, how did they get here? Yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did they get to pirates now, yo? What the hell?
I don't know how they got here, but it looks good. I see the vision, and man, like you said, maybe one day I'm gonna
get into this shit for real, man.
We might just have to start with the newest shit, and then maybe that'll kickstart the motivation to go back
to play the old shit, right?
Yeah. I'll be having to tell myself that sometimes too, because like a sequel will come on, be like, damn, that shit look good, but I didn't play the original, and then it'll make me not play the sequel until I play the original, and then that'll just create a whole fucking other dynamic. So you just gotta start with it.
Exactly. All right, man. Yeah. I think that's it for us today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast. It was always, it's always a pleasure talking with Jamie on some games and, kicking it with y'all. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Next week, we will be here. We got a lot of shit going on, but we will try to be here. No more. We'll try not to miss so much weeks like this so we can get a nice, consistent flow. Y'all know when to expect us. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation. If you guys did, don't be afraid to leave a like. You know what I mean? We do appreciate that. And yeah, man, it was a good episode. I'm about to go take a shower, get some food, and play some Sparking Zero. If you want to get cleaned up, you know where to find me. Join the Discord, and I'm going to piece y'all up. I'm going to piece y'all up in the Discord. So hopefully you guys enjoy the show. All right, we out.
Yeah, have a good night.